Oh my god! Oh my god! Are we done? Are we on? Okay, great. Yes, welcome.
I knew it.
Welcome to. Okay, so real quick, we're starting from the top, right? They didn't see the first time we tried this. That's correct. Okay, yeah. So we spent like 5 minutes talking to you guys, and no one was there. So for those of y'all who don't know what's going on in LA right now, we're actually in the middle of a a tropical storm or something?
Yeah, it's supposedly the strongest one in years.
Years, yeah.
LA,
So
yeah.
LA's been having some weather issues, and as LA is notorious for
weather
not being able to
phenomenon?
handle. Yeah.
It's been having, a Friday in London, basically.
Yeah, basically. This is a
not ready
Thursday
for
in
this.
Texas.
Even more so, yeah.
LA is already notorious for not being able to handle weather, but in this particular instance, it's legitimate because we had a power surge, and that's why we weren't able to come online at 12 like we had hoped. But thankfully, Denise is still alive, and we can move forward. We're very happy about that. But yeah, so welcome to TBD RPG. Welcome back, everybody. I was joking before we went off stream that this is becoming the stripped Doctor Who show because at the beginning of every episode, not every episode, damn, I made the mistake again. But the beginning of the episode, sometimes I'll cosplay as the Doctor, and it's always extremely warm. So this is coming off soon. Yay! Let's see. What else?
Where'd you get that sweet coat?
Thank you. Yes, this was from Abbey Shot. Though they discontinued these, unfortunately. But they're taking pre-orders on the new crushed purple velvet, not crushed, but it's the regular purple velvet Peter Capaldi coat that he just wore in the last season that Clara said made him look very doctor-like. So they're taking pre-orders on that. I already pre-ordered mine, so I will be wearing that in one of these episodes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and launch in.
Or not.
Or are we online still?
Nah.
No, we're gone.
Definitely not.
Oh my
All
goodness.
the TVs are gone.
Whoa.
You can
Are
just
you
blame
okay?
Pretty sure it's not your fault. Unless it is. Sinister plan.
You can just blame it on Davros.
When in doubt, yo.
It's only our attributes that
power
I know,
my
right?
backup
It's like,
support
well,
system.
everything's
We're still
offline.
on?
Whoa, it's doing it again. What? What's happening?
Really? Amazing. So
Wait,
we're still on.
still on?
We're gonna have flickering lights.
Wait, really? Are we still on?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hi.
Hey,
Everybody's in the dark. Hey.
So we had another. So if you guys are hearing me, we
Think
had
that
another power
strip one.
surge.
Yeah.
And
think they
I was just
probably
picking up my phone to
figured
go
that
into chat to tell everybody that.
We're
But
just too powerful.
I guess we're still going.
We are getting
That's
hit by a
insane.
storm, and there could be more going on outside of our control than.
Okay, so everybody,
Yeah.
this is going to be a very
Yeah.
strange episode, and I can't even guarantee we're going to be able to get through it. So we're going to try. We will do our best. We are
my
losing power left and
goodness.
right. That was us. This is becoming a creepy episode of Doctor Who. I should have made this. I should have made this episode about the silence or something, right?
This is so
should've.
I should have had. I should have
I
had
just
like.
got goosebumps. How dare you?
If we'd all gone offline and then came back online and we all had like the tally marks on our faces, and that would have been.
Stop it.
Why didn't we do that? That would have been amazing. Do what? I don't know. I'm freaking everybody out.
Yeah.
Except for Duncan, who's like,
What did we do?
I know what you're talking
No,
about.
it's okay,
You
Duncan.
just, you know, it's me.
Yeah.
No fear. No fear.
No fear.
Definitely.
I've seen it all.
Your dad helped build some of the monsters in the world, so.
What's that?
Your dad helped build some of the monsters in the world, so you've probably seen a lot of them. So I guess what we'll do is just jump into the episode while we can, and just try to make this work as best we can, and we'll just keep going until the power dies again. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for hanging in there with us. This is going to be an interesting, very interesting episode. So, all right. So does anybody have any announcements before we start? Does anybody want to talk about anything before we get off the ground? Yeah. Does anybody want to talk about how creepy I think I look under this light right now?
I'm looking. You look pretty creepy.
Do I look pretty creepy?
Am I forgetting something? You're looking at me very intensely.
Oh,
Look
yes.
at me.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Yes. After this episode, Sam and I are going to be doing an Instagram chat, and anybody else who wants to jump in. But Sam and I are going to be doing an Instagram chat because last episode was really interesting. Last episode is serving as a wonderful case study, and we're going to talk about that after this episode today on Instagram stories on the Geek and Sundry Instagram account. So tune in for that if you want to see a little bit after show stuff, Q&A that we're going to do. So you guys can shoot us questions and we'll be able to answer them if you so choose. So let's go ahead and use that as our tie into the recap, and then we'll start today's episode. It feels like we're in Jurassic Park.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that's
Hold
all I
on to
can
your
say.
butts.
Now you're
Yeah.
freaking out. Now I got jumped. Now I got Duncan.
Also,
Okay.
silence. Jurassic Park, like get those velociraptors up in there.
Velosa silence.
Oh man, that's
Dinosaurs
rough.
in the library.
That's rough.
So, all right. So we're picking up where we left off last time on TBD RPG. The Doctor Who gang was going to attempt to break into a base, like a secret sort of headquarters that the Temporal Guard had been using to monitor Earth for whatever reasons. You discovered that this Temporal Guard is here on Earth mostly because they were trying to. The suspicion is that they were trying to discover who the Time Lord was, but Sarah Jane, who is in charge of UNIT in this reality, is not 100% convinced that that's their sole purpose on Earth. Mostly because this building was constructed and hidden in plain sight. So this seems like a long-term game plan, and that they were able to pull this off suggests that there's a bigger interest in the Earth. So you guys discovered, basically, if I remember correctly, the information is that whatever it is, the belief is that whatever's inside the TG base will give you all the clues you need to find out what the hell is going on with this reality, and how the other doctor, the doctor of this reality, died, supposedly. The answers are inside this base, supposedly, if you can get inside. It is a building that looks like a normal building, but it is Jadoon constructed, which Roko was able to identify once they were able to look at the scans of the building. So Jadoon constructed, which is very unusual for Time Lords using Jadoon construction, but the technology to essentially cloak the building and make it look like, complete with like a holographic workforce, everything that's going on outside to make this building look like it just belongs where it is. That has also been something of a point of interest. But in order to get into this building, you've had to tap a very unlikely ally. Davros, the creator of the Daleks and now self-professed emperor of the Daleks, which is rather ironic. Because, first of all, there are no more Daleks, and the emperor of the Daleks is likely dead as well. So everyone heard me say likely, and I was like, no. Daleks are all gone. What is it? Rule number 1: the Doctor always lies. It's like that's definitely true in my case.
Sure.
So the Daleks have been exterminated. Davros also wants to get inside that base because Davros has the same questions. Davros remembers the Daleks losing horribly in the Time War, but doesn't remember how it happened, or does not remember the final days. Also, not sure how it was even possible, because the last memory you had is that the Daleks had cornered the Time Lords and Gallifrey in the homeworld. So it was you were about to deliver the decisive blow to win the war, and then exterminated. You guys lost, and that memory is sort of hazy and blank. So there's that. The last episode, we saw something very interesting happen. The gang was preparing to go into this TG base, but decided to do a little recon inside the mind of Davros before going, which is probably one of the darkest, most twisted places in the universe. And Roko decided to use their psychic power to do that. Roko succeeded and got a lot more than they asked for. It also resulted in a body swap, where for temporary moments, Davros found himself in Roko's body, and Roko found themselves in Davros's body, which was a moment of exaltation until you realized that the reason you were feeling this exaltation was because for a moment in your life you weren't Davros anymore. And that illusion shattered when you looked back at yourself and realized that it was temporary, and that you, no matter what body you switch, essentially you own every sin you've committed. Upon returning to your body, there was that bitterness, but there was also that sort of feeling of it was. I can only imagine that Davros would have probably had a feeling of a mixed bag. As it probably, I think in Davros's mind, you were closer to perfection than any of these pathetic creatures are, and so that hatred and anger and bitterness was an easy puzzle piece to find and put right back into place. But that was not the cliffhanger that we left off on. We left off on Roko in the med bay getting fixed up from their journey through Davros's psyche, and to discover there's a new guy, Alan, this new dude, who was now Sarah Jane's second in command, which makes no sense because before this whole thing happened, it was Mickey, your cousin, who you had just reconciled with. You had just had a heart-to-heart. You guys had just repaired a bridge.
Yeah.
And now no
Now
one
I'm
knows.
all alone again.
Now, yeah. Now no one knows he even existed. No one has any idea who Mickey is. Not even Martha, who doesn't know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's where we left off. And I'm going to go ahead and preempt this now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Take it off!
That's how we get subscribers.
Consult your DM before throwing harassment.
Yes. Okay. Woo, I'll give a recap. All right, so when we last left off, you guys are staying in the med bay. There's been a lot of questions. The doctor, you just theorized that you just, if I remember correctly, the last words out of your mouth before we cut last episode was that you had just realized that the reason Finn and Roko and everybody else didn't recognize who Mickey was supposed to be is because they're from this reality and you two are not. And it seems like everyone in this room thinks the two of you have kind of, like, something's wrong. Sarah Jane is very concerned. She seems to, it's Sarah Jane. She's traveled with you long enough to know that when the doctor notices something, even if it looks like he or she is going mad, you should listen to the doctor. So while everyone else is kind of like, is the doctor feeling okay? Sarah Jane is looking nervous, anxious, like maybe she forgot something. And that's where we begin. Roko, your eyes are slowly starting to open up again, and as you instantly recognize your limbs. You're in your body again. It's, I imagine as somebody who has innate psychic powers, you've had similar experiences like this. You've certainly never come out of a place so dark and so horrific. There were things that I was describing to you while you were in Davros' psyche, but there were things that you were feeling while you were in Davros' psyche that are beyond the description of any storyteller. And settling back into your body again, the contrast alone, as it's starting to set in on you, you haven't even realized it, but tears are streaming off the side of your face as your eyes open. But you see the very familiar face of a beloved friend and comrade who has stood through you thick and thin, sitting bedside with you, staring down at you with a concern. Roko's eyes have opened, Finn, and they're looking at you. It looks like you're trying to focus a little bit, but you two see each other.
Welcome back.
And I'm so sorry.
It's okay, you did great.
You told me to come back as myself, and I didn't, and I disobeyed your order, and I'm so sorry. I thought I could save everybody. I thought that I could get what we needed and keep you from harm, and I put everybody in danger.
Shh, just you need to rest, all right? You did wonderful. You're here. You're with us. You're fine.
My life. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you.
I have lots of information, and I have lots in my head now. But
You always have lots in your head. Smartest person I know.
well, now that we were at the doctor.
No, I'm sorry. I loved that expression, Amy. I totally. Doctor is like, well, technically, I'm the smartest person on this planet right now. But
I wouldn't be so sure.
Davros just comes in. Excuse me. We need to have a smart off now.
We just both actually our way into this
Actually.
conversation.
Yeah, but I can still kick your ass at Tekken.
Fascinating. It's like a good game.
Oh my gosh, we will definitely need an episode where these characters get to chill, and Celine can take them to an arcade. That'll be fun.
Slices, these
Everyone
machines.
in the
What's
room
happening?
just goes, What's Tekken?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a lot
You've
of people
arrived on an
that
Earth with no
stream-
Tekken.
Yeah, but also a lot of people on stream are probably too young to know what that is.
Aw. Play Tekken.
You never know. Play Tekken.
Right.
Tekken.
You were brilliant in there. I'm so glad you're back. As soon as you are ready, I'd love to know, A, if you're all right, and B, what happened in there?
Oh, yes, of course. I'm all right now. I'm with everybody, and everything's fine.
Brilliant.
Everything's fine. Well, there's good news and there's very, very terrible news. It's Davros, so I suppose that's rather to be expected. So, the good news is he really does want to help us get into this facility, and he's already figured out what would need to be done to get our vortex manipulators to stealthily jump us in, which is concerning, because we never gave them to him.
Well, that's a...
So he must have some sort of scanning. Also, he has a death ray.
I'm sorry, what?
There's just a touch of a death ray.
Sarah
the
Jane says
person-
that's not possible. We scanned him using the technology of the Black Archives. We know for a fact he is not armed.
I would then highly recommend you to get a better scanner because I've been Davros now. I know where his death ray is. So,
There's
What scale of death are we talking about here? Is this like a...
rather deathy.
Is this like a... Could it like wipe out a town, or is it like something he can just kill people?
This is his single target death ray.
Okay,
know,
I mean
for
that's still
extermination
terrible,
purposes.
but
I think we might want to have a look at that
Yes.
at some point and
Yes.
decide what needs to be done. But he really can and will help us get in. But
Why?
that's the very bad news.
The death ray wasn't the bad news.
No,
Oh, right,
there's,
okay.
there's much worse. There's much worse, of course.
Fantastic.
Davros wants access to the Time Lord technology in the base so that he can not only recreate the Daleks, but greater and more powerful than they've ever been.
Staring at Sarah Jane right now.
Sarah Jane looks horrified. She leaves the room, and you see a few of the personnel, including Martha. She looks kind of questioning, and she says, "Yes, you." And Martha steps out, and Alan says, "I'll guard the door, ma'am." And Alan leads everybody out. The room clears, and Sarah Jane follows them and closes the door, and you see her input a couple of ding, 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 and the door goes and locks. And Sarah Jane turns around and she goes, "I have no idea what to do. Doctor, what do we do?
Right, well,
If he's armed..." That's not sneaking. What is the GM up to?
what is the GM up to?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Right, well, it's basically as bad as we all feared it might be. Surprise. But
I guess we...
it's better to know than not know.
Yes, that's my thought too, but I wasn't sure. I don't know that we have a choice. Maybe our checks and balances here is you being with him when you go in.
That's the other thing, Doctor. In everything in Davros's mind, it was death and destruction and
I'm so sorry you had to see
Daleks.
that.
Don't worry about that, but there was only one living being in Davros's mind. And it was you, Doctor. When one called for aid, you were there with hand outstretched. When Davros had a prison within his mind, you and your regenerations were the guards. He is more profoundly interested in you
It's
than
an
we might
odd
ever have
sort
suspected.
of compliment to matter to a madman.
You matter quite deeply.
Doctor, you do remember during the reality bomb incident, Davros kind of looks at you as the destroyer of worlds, so to speak. Davros kind of views you as his counterpart and his ultimate arch enemy. The one being that has been able to stand before the Daleks. Not to mention the War Doctor, the regeneration you don't like to talk about or even remember. It was principal in your reality for... Yeah, I mean, you've essentially been guilty of the destruction of the Daleks at least once.
Yeah, he respects me for all the reasons I hate.
Yes, exactly. There's a little bit of an obsession.
Well, I suppose there was one other figure there, but for all that I was successful in my mission, I couldn't... The Lord President was there.
Of Gallifrey?
Yes.
Did you see that face? Sarah Jane leans in.
Well, that's the thing. No.
Davros hid it from you?
No, he wasn't able to hide from me, but that it is not just that a memory eludes him. It seems silly, but like reality is warped around that memory.
Not as silly as you might think. Do you remember meeting a fellow called Mickey in the alley?
No, you've never heard that name in your life. What a strange human name.
Well, I remember one time in graduate school that I was studying alien cultures and there was a Mickey Mouse. Is that it?
He's a delightful fellow as well, but not the same one.
Hi, I'm Eric from TBD RPG. Disney, please don't sue us.
She just said he was delightful.
It was delightful.
Free advertising.
Yes, exactly.
Visit Disney theme parks this summer
This summer.
or cancel that.
It'll only take your life savings.
Can we
They
have a
are
game from
moderately
Disneyland?
priced.
They're moderately priced at $12,000.
We're already plotting a game from Disneyland. Sorry, too
I
late.
know.
Right. All right. Do you remember Alan?
Yes, of course, Alan.
Right.
Yeah. That when the doctor says that triggers. Yeah, the guy that arrested y'all in the alley.
Yeah.
Didn't recognize the doctor. You have a completely different memory from that game session.
Yeah, the blasty one.
Yeah.
This is not good. Someone has changed this world and you.
I don't feel changed at all.
That's the problem, isn't it? I've been hanging out with you for too long.
Just long enough.
The two of us met Mickey in the alley, but everyone from your world remembers Alan, who was not here unit of time ago. How long ago was that? Last night?
I mean, in your time, how long ago was that?
Yes.
Been a day and a half.
It's been about a day, maybe a half a day, something like that.
So if I
Hasn't
say
been long.
yesterday,
Yeah.
right.
Hasn't been long. But while you're saying all of this, you see Sarah Jane. She completely believes you. Doctor, do you think it's possible that this has something to do with the fact that you are coming from another reality?
I think that's very likely, but I don't know how this change has happened and why. How can anyone do that? Hold on. Can I search my memory for any, like, is there a Doctor Who cosmic cube?
Sure, go ahead and roll ingenuity, and yeah, let's just make this a straight up.
Even if I'm wrong, I want to come up with, like, things that have
This would
I
be an
ever...
ingenuity science roll.
Okay.
Tell me what's thou
14.
getteth.
Oh, you're good then.
Tech Adept doesn't apply to this, though, right?
No,
You
this
just-
is pure theory. This is,
Worth a try.
yeah. This is you pulling from all your Time Lord knowledge. Do you have any traits that might help here?
Unless Field of Turn of the Universe applies.
I think that would.
Sounds right.
Let's take a split second to look that trait up. What
Yeah,
a cool
I haven't
ass name for a
used
trait.
it. Yes. Oh my gosh,
Feel
the
the
names
turn
of things
the universe.
are so good.
That's pretty cool.
Or if, I could reach in my resourceful pockets and see if there's a cosmic cube in there.
Thankfully, I have the reality gem. Infinity Gauntlet scares the crap out of me.
As it should.
It scares the crap out of me.
Beautiful.
I don't know what that says about us.
Yeah,
I
Comic
like it,
book
whatever it
nerds.
is.
Yeah.
you guys are such nerds. I don't know why I play RPGs with you guys. You're such nerds. Let's see here.
Oh my gosh. Can I read
Yes,
the
do it.
beginning of this description just because it's beautiful? It's on page 52 of our edition.
Oh, thank you.
It's a special good trait. Not many people experience the clarity and the wonder that is feeling the whole universe. Knowing you're just a small part in the vast, almost endless universe of planets and possibilities.
Yes,
It
it
can
does.
drive some people mad, and others can sense when something is wrong. Normally only for Time Lord characters, however, a rare few aliens and even a few humans may possess this trait, not available to companions as a result of being exposed to the vortex, or possibly being on the verge of madness, like Vincent van Gogh.
Essentially, you are
Dope.
so intrinsically aware of the ebb and flows
Sorry.
of. You are so intrinsically aware of the state of the universe, being a being that has traveled through the time vortex, who has been to places that no other being has been to. You are. It says. Your character has an innate ability to sense when something is amiss, unnatural, or something that needs to be done or done to set the universe right. So the character will sense something is wrong with an awareness plus ingenuity roll with a bonus of +2.
Although we have sort of
so-
figured out that something is wrong. But the
so-
more successful they
but-
are, the clearer the problem will appear as well as the potential solution.
So what you could do is, in this case, since you're already aware that something is messed up, what I'll do is I'll say go ahead and take the ingenuity science roll, because right now you're searching your incredible brain for theory,
Yeah.
and I'll let you have that +2 bonus for Return of the Universe.
Excellent.
So go ahead and roll it. It is going to be very difficult. The difficulty will be 24.
Oh. Let's see. 14.
I have a game engine question.
Ask away.
A game story points.
Yes.
Since it's a new session, are story points back? Or
Yeah.
Nice.
How many do you have right now?
What's up?
Oh, 'cause
my
you
max
burned 'em.
was 10, but I burned 8.
I gave everybody, so go ahead and
Or
start
burned
with 6.
9. Okay.
6 story points.
Oh, what am I back to? Sorry, I forgot to ask about
I think,
cap.
yeah, I think we put you back at your max.
my new cap.
Your,
Or my old cap.
So it turns out the cap for every character is 12. You start as the Doctor with 8, I believe. I started
6.
you at 6.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But in this case, I think, especially because we haven't gotten to a point where you guys can actually spend your story points on character advancement, what I'll do is I'll cap you at 12 right now. So go ahead and just get back. Everybody should get juiced up, because this is going to be a game where you guys are going into the suck, as they say.
Okay.
So-
Oh, and if I had just been there.
Ready.
You all saw it. I actually did roll.
It's our turn.
I'm
Okay.
keeping that roll because it was good.
Okay.
14 with the bonus of 2 is 16 plus 10 for 26.
Okay.
The doctor.
Nothing immediately comes to mind.
Yeah.
But you there are just so many travels you've been on where you've encountered things where things get altered or switched and whatnot. Sometimes you've been responsible for them inadvertently. That's just the way time works sometimes.
Wibbly wobbly.
But in this instance, the way it's restructuring people's memories and everything, with the data that you have, it's impossible to determine if it's happening as a side effect or if it's on purpose, if it's deliberate or if it is collateral. What you do know, though, is this is a symptom of a universe that is dying. This is a symptom of time and space slowly becoming unraveled.
Oh, that's not good.
What's not good, Doctor?
And Sam's, Roko's, your recollection, and they're sharing that even Davros is having the same sort of memory blanks and alterations to the memory. It solidifies that this universe is on borrowed time right now. Something is very wrong.
But this is the universe where I put my favorite people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
It's basically like finding
I
your
need to
bank
make
account.
multiple backups.
Is this like Back to the Future rules where people are faces are
Slowly
slowly
fading.
disappearing in pictures?
That seems to, I think I actually made that joke
Oh, okay.
last game with Mickey suddenly disappearing, but it's kind of the same concept where certain decisions are being rewritten. And Doctor, you know for a fact that for the universe to be having these symptoms, so to speak, what you think is a very strong possibility is that instances that are time locked, which are instances in the universe that need to exist for the universe to continue moving forward and backward and all throughout time and space. There's a possibility with these symptoms that instances that may have been time locked might have been damaged or becoming accessible and are being changed or are changing themselves. But yes, whatever is happening right now is why this universe is kind of contradicting itself. It's almost like the universe is slowly going insane, like it's trying to figure itself out, like an identity crisis almost. Not the controversial DC comic. But yeah.
Is there anything I can think of that would protect the people I want from further changes?
That would be another role.
Right.
The-
Sorry, right now I'm just standing there with a panicked look on my face.
Yeah,
Staring
the
out the window.
the doctor's doing calculations in her mind that humans cannot comprehend on any level. As you're trying to basically, you are imagining time and space in a way that no organic creature outside of Time Lords can do. As you're trying to make the calculations of like what this means, what could happen, what the probability of your companion suddenly disappearing on you. It's entirely possible. So go ahead and make your roll.
Another science, or?
Again, it's going to be ingenuity and science.
So do I get the bonus on this, or?
Yeah, I'll give you the bonus on this.
14. Not as good. 22.
You don't know. It's hard to say, but it seems like it. Your suspicion is, just from the information you've got, you don't know for sure, but your suspicion is that if it can happen to Mickey, it could happen to Roko or Finn.
Right. Can I spend a story point to bump up my levels of success?
So did you? Let's see, 22. You rolled a 22.
Yeah. How bad a failure was
Yes,
that?
you would need one story. Is it one story point or two? I believe it's two. So yeah,
Is it?
I believe it's 2 story points to burn up to level success, right?
It says bump 1 level per each story point spent, although levels of failure can only max out at an ordinary success.
Oh, 1 per level. Oh, then you only need 1. So go ahead and spend 1. 1 story point, and I'll bump you up to success.
Just
Oh
a
wait,
basic one.
there
though.
was that time. You kind of go back, and like, your answer is yes. It could happen to Finn
All right.
or Roko, and it's impossible. Even for you, the calculation of knowing the random occurrences across the entire universe, it's impossible to know. But you are starting to realize, to your horror, that you might wake up one day and Finn just was never in your TARDIS.
Right.
There was never a Captain Finn. Like it could conceivably happen. Gina's getting ready to charge across the studio and punch the GM in the face. Dedicated to that short temper flaw.
Pirate. I need that in history.
And once it's done, can you reverse it?
How
Doctor?
can you reverse something that never happened?
Wait, does that mean Mickey's gone? Because I need. Okay.
What's that?
So now he's died in both realities.
It's impossible. Well, no, he's never died in this reality because he never existed in this reality.
Ah!
Whoa!
Something else, Doctor?
What?
Something else. David is from this reality.
Right. Yes. I've got some very bad news. You broke my soul. The room now being just us and Sarah Jane, right?
Yeah.
This is actually extremely bad. Your world is dying.
Sarah Jane just. How?
I don't know, but these changes, something is unraveling. I have to believe we will find out how to stop it. But things could change. I'm going to need you very much.
Okay.
If you notice anything that seems different than it was a moment ago, I don't know how to protect those of you from this world from these changes.
Right. So this change happened over the course of a day. Suppose that means we better hurry up then.
Doctor, is there any way for you to pinpoint when this happened? With all your gadgetry and what have you?
It seems like it's related to the blurring of faces and the rewriting of events. It seems like it's all tied together, but I don't know exactly how.
Sarah Jane says, then our hand is forced. We have to go into the TG base, and we have to use Davros.
Roko,
Already knowing that we can't trust him is something.
when you were in his head, were you able to see anything about what his plans were, how he plans to,
Bless you.
what he plans to do once we get into the TG base?
My impression is that Davros doesn't have any special knowledge of the inner layout of the base or when to make a move, only the determination to do so when the opportunity might present itself.
I will give you this. You also remember that Davros is hungering to get his hands on Time Lord tech. Like, that's something he really wants in that base.
So he's going in as blindly as we are.
Well, he knows what he wants.
What's that?
The technology of the Time Lords to make the Daleks.
Make sure
Well-
that doesn't happen then, don't we?
Well, if we've got the Doctor, why do we need him? If we know what he's going in there for, and we know he has no idea what he's doing, just like we don't, why do we need him?
Because he is the only one who can modify these vortex manipulators to get us into the base unnoticed. And
You
he will
couldn't-
only do it on the condition that we bring him with him. Bring him with us.
You couldn't even do this, Doctor.
No?
You
I didn't
remember,
say that in
you
character.
dissected one of these, and what you discovered is you need his help to do it.
Right.
Mhm.
I wish I could.
I
It-
saw the calculations that he made, but I'm neither of you. Beloved Finn, you're too sweet, but I'm not that smart when it comes to this kind of technology. But
You've pulled off something no one in the universe. No one has ever gone into a mind like that and come out. You're incredible.
no one would want to.
I don't know what I think I'm pointing at. Sorry.
I'm just remembering there was actually a moment in Doctor Who where the Doctor actually built a makeshift TARDIS to catch up with his TARDIS. But he was using a lot of parts and tech that had been salvaged. So it's entirely possible that you could try, but with Davros it's a guarantee. So
Well,
I
And
guess
we don't know how much time we have.
Well, the only other
exactly. You
possibility
don't know
is
what the
continuity.
clock is ticking at right now. The
Yeah.
Doomsday Clock doesn't have any hands,
Mhm.
so you don't know where you're at.
I can't understand the calculations, but I saw them. You can understand the calculations, but you didn't.
Right.
We both have psychic capability. You could read me and see if any of that would work.
Are you sure that's wise? To have someone jump in your mind again?
Oh, well, it's the Doctor. That's different.
I know, but there could be some residual trauma. I don't know.
That's
What if she disappears
if you wanna roll,
while you're in there?
I'll let you do a ingenuity and medicine roll.
Sure, go ahead.
And you have a bonus here that you could add? Do you have any trait bonuses that you could add?
Mm, I have a plus for me to read people, but that's
Okay. No.
that I don't
Alright.
think that's gonna.
This is just from what you know from your training as a psychic.
Yeah. So yeah, I have whatever psychic bonus I
So
might have.
what'd you get? This is going to be tricky. So 15.
Oh, I think that's good. I think I rolled a 16. 9 plus 7. Yes.
Okay. So here's what you you did very well on that. So yes, you could actually show the doctor what it is you saw, and it's entirely possible that it's fresh enough in your mind right now that the doctor would see it exactly with the same clarity you saw it. However, Finn's right. It'll probably be another 2 days. Is a good chance you could irreparably damage your psyche because you would essentially be revisiting the memory of where you just came from, and it would be like if you fell off your bike and like scraped your elbow or something. If you just fell off of like anything and scraped yourself up real good, and then you took some sandpaper and just went like that to it, it would be sort of the same mental psychic effect. So you could do it. If you wait a couple of days, you could probably heal enough and then do it without too much complication, or you could do it now and risk yourself.
I mean, in doing these kinds of things, it's not safe, and I don't. If we had more time.
I agree. I think we all know what he wants. If we can figure out how to turn off that death ray, I think we'd better just take our chances.
I completely agree. The death ray must go.
Quite so. Is
Do you all know what Time Lord technology looks like? Just
It has a little circly script on it, and it looks more advanced than anything I've seen.
right. We just have to watch him, if we could, quite carefully.
I
All right then.
think I will be doing that.
Shall I assemble a team, or will it be the four of you going in alone with Davros? What would you prefer, Doctor? On this, I defer to you. I do want Unit in there, but you are spearheading this. If you don't believe Unit needs to be there, if it's going to draw too much attention, then it'll just be your group.
Are we getting in via the... What kind of numbers can we hide with these modifications to the vortex manipulators?
I suppose that'll have to be up to you and Davros, but I suspect it'll hide all of you.
Right. We don't want to fight, and we can't win one.
If you encounter the TGs, they will not give you an option, Doctor.
Don't worry, I'll take care of that. That happens.
Yeah, Finn, you and Roko have had so many encounters with TGs. They are fanatical. You've never heard of any of them listening to... The only words they understand are "I surrender," and even then, who the hell knows? Sometimes they are judge, jury, and executioner on the spot.
You
You've seen them-
surrender, then they execute you.
Yeah, there have been instances where people have surrendered, and the TGs apparently had another thing in mind. You two were captured and brought back. TGs have been known to take prisoners, but it's hard to tell what motivates that. You don't know when they're going to kill and when they're going to take you. But
Taken
it's
prisoner to a formal execution.
yeah, basically.
And I really prefer the informal ones. The outfits are so much more restrictive.
So going into this, you can tell right off the spot that if you guys encounter TGs, it's going to be a lot like encountering Cybermen. And it's like, yeah, you can try talking to them,
I can try.
but
Not much of a talker.
they're not too big on talking unless they really want you to know how badly they're about to win. But yeah,
All right.
Right.
the doctor says, or Sarah Jane rather, she says, then I suppose what we need to do now is get give you and Davros the room so that you can modify these vortex manipulators and get all of you inside.
I suppose we'd better.
Quick. I'm sure Finn can attest to this, Cillian, but just so you know, this is going to be an incredibly disorienting experience using one of these for the first time. The TARDIS is quite comfortable. The vortex manipulators rather makes you feel like a football being thrown through a giant spatial tube. It's
It's a bit like having
The
ants
TARDIS.
crawl all over under your skin for about 30 seconds. It's quite unpleasant.
Is it that bad?
Lovely.
You get used to it.
I always closed my eyes when I used one. I never liked it.
Sorry?
Used one once to go back 3 seconds to test it, and I'll never do it again. Thank you.
Well, I think I'm prepared for anything at this point, so
All right.
thank you for the warning.
We're going to go ahead and cut to back down in the Black Archive in the laboratory room, which has been sealed off. The four of you are in the room with Davros, who is now been removed from his chambers down below and is currently under guard. Nobody else is in the room with the five of you, but the guards of UNIT are all standing outside with their high-tech rifles that they've got. Which always amuses you. There's not a single weapon on the other side of that glass that could harm you, Davros.
Their rifles are useless. This farce continues.
Sarah Jane gives you a look, Doctor. And then just, she says, "It's in your hands now, Doctor, as always. Good luck, and if I can do anything, we'll be here for you.
Well,
Get back to us as soon as you can."
let's start with that certain adjustment we were planning on making.
Let's see to that right now, I think.
Yes. I think we'd better.
Sarah Jane, the door opens and Sarah Jane steps into the room and says, "Davros, we've agreed to your terms, as you know. We are aware of the Dalek weapon on your body. We would like you to remove it."
It's not so much a choice.
Surely you understand. There's no reason for us to trust you when that weapon is on your person.
It is impossible to remove.
Then we'll just
I
have to
can-
disable it, shan't we?
I can disable it.
Why don't we have the doctor disable that instead?
Proceed.
It'll probably take your sonic.
All right.
But if Davros is allowing you access, because the thing is you'll have to forgive me, audience, because there's a lot of Who lore, and inevitably I'm going to run into walls where I don't remember. But I don't recall at any instance, as far as I know, where the Doctor has been able to disable a Dalek's weapon.
You'll just have to trust me that it's disabled.
You,
See, here's the thing, Davros. We've just learned we can't. And if you ever
You
try
just
anything,
learned that?
Well,
you're not in much of a position.
well, I mean, you just admitted, like, we didn't know, but now we know.
and knowing's half the battle.
No.
Sorry. Went right into a PSA.
Right, so why can't it be removed?
It is tied into my life support systems.
Do you
My
want
primary
I
life
would
support
know
system.
whether or not that was true. Having
Excuse
had
me,
been-
said Sam. I would like to roll on this, please.
I feel like having been in that system.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and make your check. It's going to be... I don't think this would be a roll, actually. I think you would just know this.
I think I was there, I knew.
As Davros is saying this, you realize there's probably some truth to his words. Because one of the reasons why you were aware of that is because at that particular moment you were feeling your body now. And that ray that's built inside that tank aperture that he is installed in, it feels like it's connected to who Davros is as a being. He has become a living weapon in that tank aperture. And there's a solid chance that he's telling you the truth.
That it can't
suit.
be removed, but
That the
could be.
power core that is tied to is also linked in with his life support system. Counterpoint, it's Davros. He could be lying his ass off. But from what you remember, that doesn't feel false.
Doctor,
Yes?
I've just been pasted to the wall
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Being in the same room with Davros again can't be fun.
That's fine.
It
No,
is
I've just
fun
been-
for me.
I've just been standing between them.
Okay.
He's not really fully lying when I think his weapon systems and his life systems are integrated. I'm not a technician, but I don't think it can be removed as such necessarily.
Dalek can't be anything but a weapon. Of course.
I just go right back to being pasted against the wall and not taking my eyes off Davros.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right, so we don't remove it, we just break it.
Is there any way to disable it? And can we scan for it in any way that proves it's off?
You could probably scan for it, but it with a sonic, that's going to be really tricky, and I would probably say it's going to be a contested roll. There's a good chance that if Davros doesn't want you to find it, you ain't going to find it, but it would be a contested roll, I think.
Would I be able to assist since I know exactly where it is?
It's so tricky because it's a cybernetic system. So it's like, do you know where it is, or did you just feel it on your person? Let's see. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a +2. I'll let you give a +2 to the doctor if you spend a story point. There's a mechanism in Doctor Who that's called "You Got This, You Can Do It, I Know You Can," where you can basically assist another player by giving them a story point. So if you want to give the doctor a story point, and you can scan for it
Okay,
and see if you can find it.
let's do it.
And then Jason, I'll need Davros to make a roll. This is going to be ingenuity plus technology,
Okay.
and I'm going to give you a +4.
Okay.
So make this as a contested roll and tell me what the two of y'all get. The Doctor versus Davros.
Ingenuity technology for me as well.
Yeah.
Tech adept.
Yes, I'll give you Tech Adept.
24.
24 is the number you got to beat.
16, 17 with your +2. And 9 is 26.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
hold on, wait. I didn't add. What was the bonus you gave me? Sorry.
+4.
+4, then actually 30. Because I added those up and I forgot to add the bonus.
Click! Your
can
Sonic
look,
comes out
sorry.
and you
Okay.
scan.
Beautiful suspense moment of
Uh,
sadness.
you scanning Davros, and as you check your Sonic, yeah, you're getting mixed readings all across the board. The scan, even with the Sonic's ability to scan life forms, Davros is so intrinsically complex and filled with so many countermeasures against scanning that you discover you can't actually pinpoint anything in that system. He's made a lot of upgrades since you last saw him.
I have a suggestion.
What's that?
Roko could enter my mind again and prove that it is disabled.
Sarah-
Absolutely not.
Sarah Jane goes, I vote against that.
I'm volunteering.
You volunteered last time too.
It wouldn't matter. The stimulator that we used to enhance Roko's ability to do it has been damaged since the surge. We wouldn't be able to do it anyway, unless one of you
You'll
wanted
just have to
repair
take my word for it then.
it. At that point, Alan steps in the room and goes, "Ma'am," and she nods to Alan and she says, I think we're running low on time.
Right.
I just have to keep an eye on him, and if I see anything, I'm I'm afraid you won't be proud of what I do next.
I might be.
Give us the room, please.
Sarah Jane stops and she says, she looks back at everybody and it looks like she's very aware that she's being watched right now. And she steps forward and she says, and she leans in close to you, Doctor, and she says, I don't want to lose you twice. And she gives you a very tender kiss on the cheek before she smiles at you and then backs away and the door goes seals shut. And you guys are locked in this room with Davros. The vortex manipulators are laid out on the table in front of you. It'll take a few minutes, probably, and only a few minutes. With Davros' expertise, the four of you could, the five of you could, will be able to use these to teleport in. But we're going to need a combined check here. This is going to be very difficult to use these to cloak their signatures. So, let's go ahead and set the difficulty at 27, which is our highest roll yet. It's highly improbable. And I'll need Davros and the Doctor to decide who is taking the lead on the surgery, essentially, of these devices.
Right, I'll do that.
Okay.
Am I getting any bonuses?
You're going to get bonuses. The Doctor,
And is
you
it a
got your tech
combined
adept. What's
roll, or is it a combined roll, or one of us has to get that?
There is a special rule for this. In this case, I'm going to say the Doctor's going to roll, but I'm going to let you give a bonus. So this is where we get really. So what is your technology, Doctor? What is your technology skill?
My tech is 4.
Your tech is 4. What's yours?
My check is 8.
Oof.
Okay. Wow.
That's why he can do it.
So what we can do? What's your ingenuity rating?
7.
I'm worried about if
So
he
it-
takes the lead that he can like bury.
7. Yeah.
Seven.
Quite so.
So, Doctor, your ingenuity, if I'm correct, is 9.
Yes.
9. So what we'll do is I'll give you a plus. You're going to get your tech adept, and I'll give you an additional +2 bonus for Davros helping. And what I'll do is I'll let you use Davros' tech
Okay.
and your ingenuity for the roll.
Great.
And your tech is 8.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Freaking
Base
Daleks.
19.
7.
That's amazing.
My tech adept and okay, so hold
Tech
on.
adept plus
Yeah.
his tech plus your ingenuity.
So
is
you're gonna
base
roll
19.
8.
Yeah.
So you're going to roll 2 dice. It's
Yep.
going to be 8 plus 9 plus 4.
Or
8
spend a story point
plus
for an extra
9
2
plus
dice.
4, 17, 21.
I'll spend a story point,
Okay.
too. And I want to explain to the Doctor how this happened, how I'm able to help.
Sure.
That's okay. So,
Yeah.
before you destroyed the reality bomb, Doctor, I was able to siphon a small amount of energy from the crucible to create a reality disruptor, which we will now combine with the vortex manipulator.
That's very interesting.
That sounds unsafe. In a universe that's dying.
Davros, it's true. This world is spiraling apart.
Excellent.
With you in it,
I always survive. You should know this by now, Doctor.
do you seem to have a bit of a knack for it?
So far.
I like this guy.
I mean, he wants me dead, but he's all right.
8 and 9 and 4
8 plus 9 plus 4.
plus 2. He just spent a story point.
Oh,
Or is
so
that
Dice.
extra dice? Haha.
that's extra
the dummy.
dice.
Right.
Do I roll that or does she roll?
She's gonna roll.
Okay.
He could roll the extra ones.
If you want to, sure,
Okay.
and tell her what you got.
1
and
plus
then
2.
we literally have the 2 most powerful minds.
Doing science.
You didn't want me to roll that. I rolled a 1. Sorry. But at least it adds to
You
it.
rolled
2
2
dice?
dice.
Oh, 2 dice. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sorry. For a roll, I thought you meant
Yeah,
1
it's 2
die.
dice. Yeah, it's all 2d6.
So 3.
All right.
All right.
Crappy rolls.
So 3. So go ahead and add that all
We're
up.
to base
That helps.
24 now.
Nope.
You were at 19. so
oh, you're at a base 24. Yeah.
base
so this
22,
is going to be
right?
Okay.
Oh no,
And the
because he had
difficulty
plus
was
2.
27?
Yeah, okay.
27. So this is really just to see how extraordinary you succeed. As the Doctor and Davros combine their scientific powers.
Oh my god.
Not that well. 28.
Holy shit. All those bonus. Did you roll double Daleks?
No, but we
They-
were at 24, and I just rolled a 4.
Oh. Wow. You beat it by 1?
Well, it's
Should I
meter
spend a
beat,
point to
so-
improve our level of success, y'all?
I'll give you a story point back if you don't.
Okay.
Oh.
You get a story point back.
Okay, great.
If it's worth it.
Yeah.
But is it? I don't know.
We don't.
Because-
we can't now.
I don't
Because
know.
you succeed, but
Right. That.
because you just hit you hit one. You have to hit a ratio of 3 or better on a target number
Yeah.
to get a good success. But you guys, I can't believe that all those effing bonuses, and you got a 28. That's amazing.
My
something
God, for the
That is the
bonuses,
second
yeah.
highest difficulty rating in the game, though. It goes to a max of 30, so that was pretty amazing. Okay. You see these two going to work and speaking a language of tech that none of you. It seems like sci-fi within sci-fi. And Roko, it's incomprehensible, the things that they're discussing as they're modifying these things. These vortex manipulators, by the time you're done with them, they're absolutely going to work. But by the time you are done, because of the roll, these are going to have a... they are no longer going to be capable of traveling through the vortex. Instead, they're going to be site-to-site transport kind of thing. And you only get 2 uses out of each of them when you're done modifying them. Which is just enough for there and back again.
A Hobbit's tale.
Yes, you were right. Can you imagine Davros just appearing in front of Bilbo while he's on the pipe? Empties the pipe. Like, what weed is this?
This weed isn't from the South Farthing.
This isn't from the South. This is from Burning Man. What is happening?
Just steal more.
Exactly. They're a renewable resource.
There's more, Minnie.
And there you have it. The vortex manipulators have been modified.
Right.
The good news is, though, when they are no longer useful, they will lose their power source and they won't be a danger. But Roko, Finn, your vortex manipulators, this is their last usage, basically.
Oh, and we better make it count.
They served you well. They done kept y'all alive. So, 11 years of jumping around galaxies with these things.
Bit of an end of an era.
In all fairness, though, as unstable as these things are, you two have beaten the odds using them. Thankfully, you've used them for their original purpose. The TGs warp them when they use them. But you guys haven't had any mishaps, so that's good.
These were never really the safest of things anyway.
Yeah.
It's probably better that we don't have them anymore. And besides, this reality isn't doing so well. So I don't know how many hops we really would have gotten after this. It was a good run.
It's a great run.
All right,
Let's
y'all
make
ready?
the last ones count, shall we?
Let's.
Ever the sensible one, Roko. I like that about you.
I just do what I can.
For the record, when we make it through this, I do know someone with a time machine.
That would be lovely.
Let's do this.
You guys strap these things to your arms. Everyone looks at you. Put it on your good forearm here, making the calculations. And another time, think of the damage you could do with one of these things.
Someone help me put mine on. I only have one arm that works.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody's going to
Hatefully glare
Why
at
does
you
he
while
get
I...
it? Why don't we get it?
Yes,
okay.
how many do we have? Does it
Two.
matter who's
It's
holding them?
just ours two.
What?
So
What's that?
Does it
who's
work in an
actually wearing
area
them? How many of them do we
effect?
have?
Two.
Because of
Are
the
two.
no,
Clearly it's you and
no.
Davros.
There's enough just for all of you.
Oh,
Okay.
they
Because the Black
re-checked
Archive
it.
had a few.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wasn't aware.
Yeah.
I thought Sarah Jane said she never gotten a hold of one. That's why she wanted to.
She did say
Yeah,
that.
that's why she wanted ours.
Yeah, but then again, everything about reality is constantly changing. So,
Good call.
so we could
Sarah
just
Jane
do
did
a
say that,
little
they never got their hands on
retconning there.
You're not
that?
wrong.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why I was so mad she wanted mine.
Yeah.
I was like, take her
Remember,
out.
because they said it's finally starting to click. You guys had said she wanted to desperately look at one of these because they hadn't encountered one up close like this before since Jack had taken his.
Yeah.
And yet here are 5.
And that's not weird to
And
me.
you said he
Nope.
knew how
Only
to
to them.
adapt them without seeing yours.
Well, he knew how to do it from having scanned them while we were in the room. Because he hasn't touched them until now, but he already had all the calculations in his head.
It's him.
Changing the world.
I think it's him.
But how?
I don't know.
And why would he destroy his own people? If the Daleks are really gone.
Well,
If they weren't, he
they
wouldn't
said
be here.
they said it was his greatest success and also his greatest regret. And where else? Where else and why else would they have these things? It's got to be him. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be, but I think it's him.
You're thinking along the right lines.
One way to find out is to get that intel.
Everyone's manipulators is on.
All right.
So it's just the 5 of us going in. We're not taking unit.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't want them to get their hands on the tech in here, but Sarah Jane.
I think
I mean, we don't
only
need
have.
them. I'm basically a unit.
I think we
Less
only have
casualties.
enough to get the 5 of us through anyway, don't we?
You had
Yeah.
said that we could probably use them to hide as many numbers as we needed, but
What they'll do is they'll cloak the disruption in space-time. So
The initial BAMF can get everybody
yeah,
under the
the
umbrella.
rippling effect
and then
of
from there-
something basically stepping through time will be cloaked. Yeah.
and it masks our signals so they won't have like an intruder alert kind of deal unless we actually run into someone.
So far as you know, that's correct.
If we did run into someone, a death ray may come in handy.
Absolutely.
If he wasn't so evil, I'd say he has a point.
We don't need him.
But he's evil. That is the point.
Yeah. Well, shall we?
I go over and I'm right by Finn. And I just whisper very briefly in your ear, he's going to try to seize his opportunity. If you see the moment. Maybe some people need to be blasted. Let's go!
Damn, Roka, that's cold.
Boldly they rode.
Let's go.
Everyone goes.
Yeah.
And your world warps around you as all of a sudden you are in a flash launched through the time vortex for a brief second, pulled away from it as almost you were going to gain entry, and you reappear suddenly inside a room. It looks like you're definitely inside the TG base. Because the moment you appear inside, you find yourself inside this cold, steely-looking corridor with doors surrounding you. Cat grate kind of at your feet. This place looks sterile and militaristic. Definitely Judoon technology. The way it's built, it looks fortified. And across from you all, you see, it takes a second to realize it looks like you just teleported into what looks like a prison. Or at least a cell block area.
Like, wait, this isn't the TG base, it's a TGI Fridays!
Oh no! Thankfully, you didn't teleport into a cell block. You're actually inside of a large corridor that is also empty at the moment, save for one person who is in one of the cells. As you all bamf in for a second, it takes you a few moments to kind of get your bearings as you're looking around at this new place. you kind of squint a little bit as you see this technological jail cell. It's got these energy bars going up, down, and across from it. You recognize that as Gallifrey tech. It's sort of like a Gallifrey holding cell. Gallifrey
recognize
holding cell. So it looks like it's a mixture of Jadoon tech and Time Lord tech. And yeah, in that cell, you see an individual begin to get up and move a little closer to get a better look at you guys as you appear there. And yeah,
What individual?
that one.
Hey guys.
Ooh.
Well, hello.
Yes, indeed. It is Jodie Hauser, everybody.
Yeah, I just saw Amy last night for an RP thing, and she had no idea I was coming today. So. It's true.
Nice.
Yes, Jodie and I have been staging this.
Yes.
Amazing.
Actually, the whole time I was on my phone at the game, I was talking to Eric. So.
How we were going to pull this off. Yes. So if you want to go ahead and give a brief description of your character as she gets up and moves closer to the energy bars.
She looks pretty terrible. She's like very pale, sort of sunken eyes, just sort of like crazy black hair that's like just a mad, like
Human
rat's
looking?
nest. Human looking, yeah. She's wearing rags, pretty much, just like burned, blood stained, everything, and they look way too big. It looks like they were men's clothes back when they looked like clothes, and they just, yeah, she looks really bad.
Yeah, so you have been catching your breath. This has not been your week, as you know.
No.
What as you've been sort of staring at the ceiling, your mind has been going. I suspect you've been teetering on the edge of pure rage and murderous fantasy, and also despair, staring up at the ceiling. The sudden jolt and shock of these 5 appearing. So what you see, as you well know, their character descriptions because Jodie's been watching our show.
I was just thinking about that.
You see these characters appear in front of you. The one that grabs your attention, however, is the unmistakable, completely mind-shattering revelation that Davros has also appeared with these 4 people, a being that you have not seen in some time, but you are familiar with.
Oh, yes.
And so the confusion kind of bleeds away to, well, however you think she would feel upon the sight of Davros.
Am I familiar with her?
You've never seen her before in your life.
Huh. Okay.
But as you all appear in this room, there's a moment where it's so jarring to suddenly be like, oh, obviously not a TG, clearly a prisoner of some kind, clearly in terrible shape. And it's just that jarring. There's no alarm, by the way, when you guys appear inside the base. Nothing goes off. And then there you are, staring at each other.
But I don't recognize her.
She doesn't look familiar.
She just stares mainly at Davros for a very long moment.
Is it clear that she's transfixed by him?
I'm not even going to have you roll. You've people who are familiar with Davros give Davros the look that she's giving Davros.
Yes.
And then she actually just starts laughing.
Hello. Are you all right?
I appear to have gone completely mad, but otherwise, no.
Right. I'm the doctor, and
No, you're not.
yes, I am.
I know the doctor, and I know the doctor's dead.
Do you happen to know how?
No, but definitely dead.
Right. It's a long story. I get the sonic out. But I'm the doctor. What's your name?
You don't recognize? No, they're different faces since then. But you don't know me.
The short story is reality is collapsing and no one remembers anyone anymore.
The shorter story is we are running out of time.
One else.
Unfortunately, Davros is
Have
right.
Rocco and I ever had to bust people out of these kinds of prisons before?
Yes.
Do we know how to bust people out?
Yes.
Cool,
No,
I'm
yeah.
going to do that.
You remember, and you were also busted out of a prison like
I
this.
was, but I didn't know if I've ever
Yeah,
had
yeah,
to
yeah.
do it.
No, in the 11 years y'all have been hopping galaxies. Yeah.
Cool, I'm going to bust them out.
All right. Yeah, there is a control panel. You pop that thing open. This is Time Lord tech. However, again, the familiarity that you have with it, you know some of the workarounds. So do you have
Yeah.
a technology rating?
I'm scanning.
My tech is 4.
Okay, I'll get to you in a sec. Your tech's 4. What's your tech, Rocco?
3.
3. So what's your ingenuity?
4.
5.
Okay, so you can use Rocco's ingenuity and your tech, and if you
Cool.
want to make the roll, even with you're familiar with it, it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be 15.
Okay.
So you get a 15 of beta.
It's okay, it's not you. It's the world gone mad. We'll get you out. I'm not
Okay.
here, by the way. It's nice to meet you.
Why do you have a slave with you?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh wait, I should ask you this: what form are you in right now? Are you in human form?
Yeah, I didn't declare my
never mind.
shapeshift, but I intended to have shapeshifted.
Okay, so are you doing so basically that sort of neutral form that you had as a human being from?
Yeah, the story point.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
never
cool.
mind. I did not say that.
So yeah. So
Ooh.
Tina is very pleased with her roll.
Ooh, yeah.
In one TARDIS, and also that.
2 TARDISes.
Yeah. 2 TARDISes.
Nice.
Oh, so.
That's what we like to say. Oh.
What you got?
21.
21. Okay. Now, Doctor, you're having this conversation with this unusual creature in this jail cell. When you watch Finn just step up and go, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and just pop open the thing.
No, I just instinctually don't like seeing people in prison.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's
I
fair.
understand that. Miraculously, this human with a cybernetic arm just disarmed a Time Lord's holding cell without setting off an alarm. In a few seconds, it would be just like pulling a plug out of a wall. But you watch this human step forward, and she just fiddles it. You see the cybernetic hand going to work, and you see a spark, and then the wall goes, and the energy bars just dissipate.
Right. She is immediately going to go forward and
Well done.
grab the sonic screwdriver.
Oh, no, she's not.
She lunges forward. Okay, we've got a contested roll. So talkers, doers. Let's go ahead and start this. We have talkers, runners, doers, fighters. So you are. We're gonna go ahead and say, Doctor. So you're going ahead and grab the Sonic. So that's gonna be doer. This is basically gonna be a contested roll. I'm guessing you're gonna try to stop her.
Yes. I'm not sure how to apply the idea of like, at what point am I aware of what she's trying to do, and then.
Unfortunately, the speed in which she moves is rather alarming. So at this point, it's going to be a resisted roll.
Okay.
Normally there's an initiative, but let's just say that she moves with grace, poise, and incredible speed, and is seizing that sonic screwdriver. It's the I will tell you this because Finn would totally pick up on.
I know. I was like, I
You would
wouldn't know
totally
this.
pick up on this. It's almost like she knows sword form or something because the way she lunges forward is so. It's an economy of motion. There's no wasted movement. She immediately shifts her weight and goes for the Sonic. So it's going to be a contested roll.
Okay,
It's
well
going to
then,
be
Would I have to be part of this fight too? Because
No.
I didn't notice.
Do you have quick reflexes?
I don't know.
Check your traits real quick.
I do not.
She's going to beat you.
That's fine.
So then it's going to be a coordination plus. We're going to make this a fighting check.
I could, but
And
we'll see how this goes.
Amy, you are going to have to resist that using a coordination plus athlete. Well, this would also be, I think, a fighting
I
check
haven't
to
used my
resist.
charm yet either.
Coordination fighting?
So Jody's going to roll coordination
Wait till I
fighting.
get
You
to
are
the
also going to roll
voice.
coordination fighting.
I'm burning a story point to add, guys.
I
Okay.
just added mine to strength because every time I have
And
to roll
this
for
is
that,
a straight
I
up contested
fail
roll. So
miserably.
make your rolls and tell me what you get.
Yeah.
18.
18.
Good boy.
That's 6 and 7 is 13, but I burned the story point. Double Daleks.
Oh.
15.
I love double dollars.
Doc just goes, yeah. Yeah. That's the Davros cheer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whoever she is, Sven, there's a remarkable. I, as somebody who has been fighting in like close combat all her life, just from what happened, whoever she is, she could be dangerous. Because she just lunged forward and swiped the sonic screwdriver from the doctor's hand. And Doctor, I mean, you almost didn't, like, you reacted after it was out of your hand. It was so swift. She snatches it.
All right.
And has it. You have it in your fist.
Yeah, she's just kind of like looking at it, fiddling with settings. She's basically just seeing if it's real.
No, it is a new mark of sonic screwdriver. Brand new.
But I'd still like
new
the
model.
doctor would have a sort of the technology.
It is
the
definitely
core of
Gallifreyan.
it's the
Yeah.
same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Gallifreyan. This is not a joke. It's a real, honest to God, Gallifreyan constructed sonic screwdriver. Nobody but a Time Lord can make one of these. Probably generated from. Most of the materials look like they probably were generated from a TARDIS.
Okay, I would be interested because she would have seen the sonic screwdriver a number of times before.
Yeah.
She would just recognize that it is specifically the
Yes.
doctor's handiwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
you would totally be able to pick up on that just because of your familiarity with the doctor.
Okay.
So as you're looking at it.
Excuse me.
This is right, at least. And then she gives it back.
Oh, thank God.
The moment excuse me, and she's handing it back to you.
If you knew me, then you know that you probably don't want to do that again.
So who are you
Head
anyway?
to know.
Yeah.
All right,
even-
can someone tell me what's going on before
Uh,
I pull my gun?
So before we get to that, again, underlying the fact that, yes, that's the Dr. Sonic, and she is claiming to be the doctor, and Davros is about 6 feet away from you. So all of that to keep in mind. But, and
Why?
then, yeah.
Why is he here and armed?
That's an excellent question. We, at the moment,
How do you know he's armed?
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't be privy to that, would you? Maybe.
Well,
Except
they're
for the
still
extent that he's not
attached.
Well, what we could do, yeah, no, she wouldn't know he was armed.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
had
was
to
like-
Okay.
search
Although-
that.
Well, he has his.
You know what, though? There's no reason for you to suspect that he was not armed.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So there's that, too. There's no reason
Why
in the
is
world.
he here? Pretty much would
Yeah.
cover it.
Yeah.
That would cover it.
Because there's no reason in the world why you would. I can only imagine there's no reason in the world in any reality that Davros would show up and someone would assume that he didn't have a death weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's still like the stuff's still attached.
Yeah, totally.
That's more
Yeah,
what
yeah,
she
yeah.
was.
Nowhere,
yeah.
so I can break it.
right, we've broken into the space with his help. Tentatively. Working together. But I see you're familiar.
Yeah. Isn't everyone?
Well, no. But again, who are you?
If you're really the doctor, do you know what the last message you sent to the rebellion was?
I come from a different world.
The rebellion. What's your name?
Do I remember my name, actually?
You do?
Okay.
Yeah. Whether you still go by it or that you want to use it is up to you.
I don't think she wants to use it right now.
Everyone is stiffening
That's-
right now.
Instead, she looks at the doctor and she simply says, "No matter how many times a snake sheds its skin, it's still a snake."
Do you want to try to roll to see if you catch what the heck that means? Or do you have an idea?
I have an unfortunate feeling it may be a Matt Smith era reference that I'm not catching.
Oh no.
So I would like very much to roll for that.
Have my guess
I
written down.
too.
Perfect.
I'm confused.
What do I roll? Ingenuity lore?
Um,
Ingenuity knowledge, I mean?
this would definitely be, yeah, this would be knowledge. I would say awareness knowledge. And I'm going to set the difficulty pretty high.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
That's
I'm
yeah.
gonna say
Yep. I see you.
Maybe.
24 is going to be the
Is
difficulty.
this just a thing that the doctor should remember that I'm not remembering?
It's pretty. I mean, the thing is the doctor. For all the doctor's brain power, there are some things from the doctor's past that are just so. I mean, just think of Peter Capaldi, and you haven't seen this episode yet, so I'm not going to try to get something away. But Peter Capaldi, when regenerated into his current regeneration, was trying to understand why he had the face he had, and he couldn't figure it out. Eventually, he does. But it took a while because he didn't understand.
Didn't he also see like the Clockwork Eyes and kind of remember them, but not the specifics of it?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are things that the doctor comes across and goes, "Oh my god, I used to know this. I used to know this. Why isn't it coming back to me?" Kind of thing. There's something haunting about what she said, but it's not coming to you. So I'm going to give you a die roll and set the difficulty at 24 to see if you can get a clue as to the riddle she just threw at you.
All right, well, first, can I Sonic to see if she's human?
Sure, you can Sonic. That's going to be. Are you just checking to see if she's human?
Yeah.
I won't even have you roll. There are 2 hearts beating in her chest.
Right.
Can we all just collectively high five and say, I knew it?
Yeah, you knew it. I didn't get it.
And it's also giving some context to the clothes that she's wearing, which don't look like they fit her at all, and they look
Who was doing
haggard and
Was it
torn
you?
up.
It was
it
him
you?
first,
Oh.
but then I just started mimicking it.
I'm going to take a big old step backwards.
Okay, you guys, including you, Davros, who's been familiar with the doctor for some time. I'm guessing this is anxiety or fear that you're experiencing right now, or something.
A bit.
A bit. Okay, you
Unease.
see. So yeah, the doctor sort of looks at you kind of wide-eyed and takes a step back.
Is it... wait, should I still have to roll for the doctor to figure this out if Amy
If
has
you
an
want
idea?
to. If you want to, yeah.
I don't know how to play this.
Yeah, go ahead. No, that's one of the beauty things about this game system is if you come into a dead end and like, I don't know what to do, you can throw down a story point or you can just make a roll and see if we can do it. But go ahead, I would say go ahead and make an awareness knowledge check to see if the riddle rings any bells.
Okay, because it has started to for the player.
Well, if you think you know, you can keep it to yourself or you can, I mean, I'll leave it to you. Because that's just a straight up role playing thing. Like if you want to make a wild guess or if you think you know who it is, it's up to you.
Yeah, the doctor could just remember. She does that.
She's looking actually a little confused at your reaction.
Yeah, I would say the right technology, but showing up with Davros and looking at you like you're a stranger and not immediately clicking, it's... And plus, you also have... You can feel the turn of the universe. There's something not quite right about her.
Okay,
And
now I'm
something-
also eyeing you with suspicion.
And there's something
Everyone's
not
eyeing it.
quite right about the human-looking counterpart to the doctor's left.
So who are you exactly? Companion?
I guess you could say that, yeah.
From her world.
I guess you could say that too, yes.
So just to keep everyone apprised as we continue this role-playing moment, I'm going to say about 3 minutes have passed.
Right.
I just want to keep everyone
Okay.
aware that
Yeah.
you're in enemy territory.
Do
Sneaking
the
in.
vortex manipulators still scan? Or is it
no,
only
no,
only
these things are
teleport now?
jumpers now. Yeah, they don't have any. What's up?
Davros can scan.
You
though,
can
right?
scan.
I'm scanning.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you want? Oh, that's right.
Also
I'm
have
sorry.
one
You
more
said you
new
wanted to do
trick.
that. So
Yeah.
go ahead
So-
and
You
make
have
real
one
quick
more
before
new
we
trick.
continue this encounter. Let's get back to that because you wanted to do that a few minutes ago.
Very
So
nice.
let's do.
They can.
This is going to be a
have
straight
some
up.
training.
No, I'm going to say an awareness
It's like
plus
like him,
technology
yeah.
roll.
Like if you tried to do it with
Um,
him, he might go.
right.
And give
"Yeah,
yourself a
no."
plus 2 to the roll.
Yes.
Okay.
And that could
Because you're using
we
a
wouldn't
scanner
have to jump
system.
anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
20.
20.
I had
Got that great technology base.
This place is definitely Jadoon constructed. Which
What
is
constructed?
Jadoon constructed. It's which is very bizarre. You're not
Oh,
sure what
yeah,
the logic
yeah,
behind
I
that is, or
always
why the
forget that
Time
bit.
Lords would choose a
Yeah.
Judoon-constructed facility on an Earth
Yeah.
world,
There
but
was
here
a
it
whole
is.
plot line about it.
But
Real
you also immediately detect
faces,
the
yeah.
emplacement of countermeasures, which means with the roll that you just got, it was what was it, a 20? Okay, so what you detect is that the Time Lords that are running this place, they have a lot of countermeasures in place in case someone does try to get in. There are detectors for, just like you suspected, for temporal manipulation. They're able to detect that. You also detect that they probably have those same devices installed in the entire system itself to detect Time Lord physiology, the way that they were tracking the other Time Lord, from what you understand. There's also a countermeasure system to detect people trying to scan this building. So it's almost like if you scan, like what with that
Was I
roll,
able to detect that before?
yes,
Okay.
with that roll you succeeded.
Okay, good.
But what you detect is that scanning, even with a sonic screwdriver, is risking being detected. It's almost like sending out a sonar ping underwater. Like, yeah, you're going to detect things, but everyone's going to hear you, kind of thing. So, so far, I've been rolling over here, and so far you guys are okay.
Okay.
But you suddenly are aware of the risk assessment. Yeah,
And
and
who's got
that's
does she still have the sonic screwdriver, or was she?
I got it back.
no,
I gave
doctor
it
got
back.
it back. You are also detecting multiple life forms throughout this building, but you're not able to get their make just yet.
Okay.
Because about the same time you're detecting them, you detect the countermeasure system, and you're alerted to it immediately.
Doctor, I would refrain from using that if I were you.
What's that?
Your screwdriver.
Why?
There are many countermeasures within this facility.
Of course.
All right. Does
Right.
anyone have a weapon that I could have?
Absolutely not. So there are certain ones of my kind that should not be trusted. And you've got a new face just like I do, don't you?
Well, yes. And I don't think I had these last time I saw you.
Don't seem to make much difference in how we do what we do they?
No,
Yeah.
never have.
Is she talking about the clothes?
It's not a mammal thing. What's the
It doesn't matter.
Time Lord gender thing? Well, Time Lords
Roka,
are mammals.
Yeah.
Roka,
There's a
your,
problem.
your
Were they-
species absolutely has breasts, absolutely.
I couldn't tell it before.
But I mean, but your species is also capable of changing its sex to neutral to whatever. Like it's kind of that reptilian thing where you can kind of just, as needed, you can do it, and then that simple biological process. So, but the reference that they're talking about is carrying a social commentary that you are not familiar with. So you're just like, "Group?"
So
Although
she's a Time Lord too?
My
Is
old-
that what you're saying?
one of I said my old one of my oldest enemies. My old-
Enemies.
The only thing those manipulators mask is when you use them. So they're not going to mask you while you're in this.
Oh, I thought that was the point.
It's just masking you opening and closing
the
a door,
entry.
basically.
So we did that
You guys teleporting in,
So they could see
no
us
one
at any
knows
time.
y'all are here right now because you were able to just teleport in. So no one's noticed you.
So we've snuck in, but we don't stay close.
Got it.
That's correct, which is why I'm telling you
Right.
that you've been here
Yeah,
for 3
time.
minutes now because
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time
Right.
What?
until someone notices something. is up.
Trolls or whatever.
Yeah.
What are things like on your world, in your reality?
Well, possibly different. Different in a number of ways.
Perhaps we could have a bit of a
Doctor,
chat with us
yeah, I
there.
don't mean to rush you, but we're a bit of a hurry. So you, whoever you are, you can do whatever you want now that you're free. But we've got a little bit of things we need to take care of.
What sort of things?
Why are you locked in here?
Because I came in here to get something.
Such as,
Information.
are you working with the Resistance?
Yes.
Right. Who's the president?
The Lord President.
Do you know what they look like?
Time Lordy.
A bit vague, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah,
very
that's
Doctor
all
Who
I-
answer, yeah.
It's been a very difficult week.
Right, do you want to get out of here?
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes. Any swords? Anyone? Something? There's a lot
You
of
know the doctor,
TGs
I
here.
think you know better than that.
By the way, Duncan, if at any point you wanted to switch that flintlock out for a modern day gun, if you want to, this is a perfect instance where you're like, oh, can I spend a story point to say I grabbed a gun before we left?
I thought about offering it, and then I was like, I wouldn't offers.
Yeah.
I was about to say that because, you know, maybe
Sarah
that
Jane
might
would
have
not-
been something that happened during that conversation between me and Mickey
Yeah.
before he disappeared.
I
Maybe
would've
he
given
might
you
have
a gun.
armed me.
Yeah, or I would've given you one
so
too.
the funny thing about that though is if that did take place,
It
what you
would've
would
been
discover
gone.
is the gun isn't on you anymore.
Oh, that's a point. Well, it could be though.
I
Because
would've- be.
it's not tied to him specifically.
It's
right?
true, but you're messing with forces that are like contradicting themselves. So,
Well,
it's-
then
so
I'll
what
just-
we could do is if
I'll-
you spend
I
a story
just-
point, I'll let you keep it.
Yeah, alright.
So in
But
that
it didn't
case,
have to be from him then.
you have a weapon on you.
So I can give her my flintlock and keep my decent gun.
So, Cillian, you pull out this.
Give
You pull out this
I
flintlock.
shouldn't give her a gun. Maybe I'll give her the sword instead.
what?
Maybe I shouldn't give her anything. I don't know.
Are you carry?
You go to get it, and I'm like,
I love how he's just like maybe the maybe the sword.
So if you
nah,
have any
maybe
of
the-
these weapons on you, I'll need you to probably spend a story point to say you had them with you.
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay.
I mean, obviously I had the other two, but to have a newer gun, yeah, I've
So if you want to
taken
give
a story
her the
point for
sword,
that.
you can.
Well, I've got to consult the doctor first. I feel like. Should we? I've got spares. Should
She
I give
just
her
tried
something?
to steal your sonic screwdriver.
I
and now
gave
you're
it
giving
back.
her a weapon.
Also, shut up, you.
Yeah, you not really want to talk,
like her.
Davros, and she gave it back. She doesn't seem to be hostile.
she isn't exactly who I remember, but I don't know quite. I'm sorry, I don't know what to make of you quite yet.
Well, I don't know what to make of you either, so there.
Well, you were in a cell, and if you'd rather not be, come with us.
Well, let's
Yes,
hold off
right.
then. We won't give her anything, but let's
Okay,
get
one
the
second.
hell out of here.
Agreed.
While we
Okay.
still can.
What were you gonna say, Sam?
Yeah, Finn and I have been in the Resistance
Yeah.
for 11 years.
Uh-huh.
Who are
Someone's claiming to be from the Resistance, who's a Time Lord.
Does not ring a bell at all. You don't recognize her face at all.
Could I insight check then?
Yes, you can.
All right.
So
I have marked awareness and ingenuity for insight check. Is that
awareness and ingenuity. Yes.
cool?
A, when I scanned, did I scan her? B, if I didn't, can I scan her now without being detected with the knowledge
You
that
did
I've
scan her.
gleaned? Okay.
You would know that she is a Time Lord.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not
In the immediate
identity
vicinity.
or anything else.
17.
Lying about being in the Resistance.
Do you want to make a roll?
Uh,
Make a. So this would be an ingenuity plus convince, I believe. Is that a? This would. Oh no, this is a convince roll. So, this would be awareness plus subterfuge.
That's the bluff check.
I'm not
Yeah.
actually lying.
You can stand. Well, it's up to you. You don't. You don't. If you want to resist it, you can. If you
Yeah.
don't want to.
While she's rolling that, can I just roll a memory if I know of any prominent
Yeah.
figures in the Resistance that are Time Lords?
Yes. Go ahead.
What am I rolling?
17.
What was your roll?
17.
You don't know if she's telling you the truth or
Well,
not.
but I have the empathetic trait, so that might.
What you get is that she's not sure she trusts you. And she's not sure of your identity any more than you are of hers. And so you seem to go ahead and make your roll.
What am I rolling?
It's going to be your ingenuity plus knowledge.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, awareness. So just add your awareness plus knowledge.
Awareness and knowledge.
Yeah. We're going to say about 5 minutes has passed at this point.
A lot of it's just staring at
only
each
11.
other.
Yeah, trying to figure. 11. That's the thing about Time Lords. They change faces. It is a super pain in the ass to try to remember if you've ever seen this Time Lord before. This could be a TG plant for all you know. Like you have no way of knowing who this is. What were you going to say, Amy?
They're not that clever.
Oh, I changed my mind because I was going to see if I could feel the turn of the universe to see if she'd been changed in some way that they wouldn't know, and then I realized they're from the same universe, so
Yeah.
never mind. It wouldn't
Yeah.
help. So I put my hand down.
All right.
All right, how about we make a deal? You come with us, you don't get a weapon, and if anyone fires at you, I'll protect you.
Well, you did get the door open, so you can't be completely useless.
Thank you.
Finn is anything but useless.
Are you accessing their database?
Can I do that?
That is actually why you were all here.
We have a
Right.
mission.
Yeah.
That is the point.
Yeah, you'll be able to access the data. I mean, it'll be like a hacking role.
Do we have to like find a terminal, or can
Yeah,
I
but
do
I
it
mean,
with my Sonic?
Yeah, basically, it's
You
what
just
you.
agree to
The
both of
doctor.
those.
That's something. I mean, you could do that. I mean, you stole a bloody TARDIS for God's sake.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it's entire. That's what you're here for.
I
So
just like, what do I physically need?
your Sonic.
when- okay.
Your Sonic and your brain.
Okay, I can
can
just
go.
assume that in any given room without a visible terminal, I can just do this.
You're probably going to need, knowing Time Lords, they're probably going to keep it close to their command center.
So right, okay, I have to find like the database
You're
as
going to
a
have to find the
physical
central
item.
database, but you don't
Oh,
know where
okay.
it's at yet.
Right.
And scanning
the
could
plan.
possibly set off the alarm.
Move forward.
But Davros
person.
might know where that is.
You were looking
or
for
did you say he
information.
doesn't yet?
Specific information,
Davros?
yes.
Davros doesn't know.
And
got a basic
got
scan of the
caught, but did
building.
you know where in the base you were going?
Did I know where in the base I was
You
going?
have the exact same knowledge the doctor does, that wherever the database you're looking for is going to be right in the Hornet's Nest. It's going to be at the central command area. You needed to find it.
Yeah, Central Command.
But that was probably 2 weeks ago
2 weeks ago. Oh, jeez.
that you've been here.
So we're all wandering.
Oh,
through
they've made it last.
Yeah.
They've made it last.
Davros.
Hmm.
You said just. Did he say he scanned or just not to use the Sonic?
You did scan.
When I scanned, I discovered there are anti-scanning measures in place. If I were to scan any further, we would be detected immediately.
Right, let's go this way.
Are you friends with him in your universe?
Not even a little.
Okay.
Did you detect any TGs while you were scanning?
There are life forms here, but no details were.
You can't tell us what floor the most of our.
Could I?
The Jadoon construction of this building is being manipulated by Time Lord technology. And so the physical construction of the outside is being used to help cloak the building, essentially. It's almost like this place was built and then the Time Lords discovered it and kind of altered it a little bit to fit their needs. So what you've been able to get out of it is that this was probably some kind of... This has been here for a while, hiding in plain sight, and the Time Lords moved in, is what you're getting from the tech that's melded with the construction here. So for whatever its original purpose, it now serves as a TG base. With the scan that you put forth, you weren't able to determine exactly how many floors are in this building, because this building is kind of doing the thing that Time Lords like to do. There could be one floor. There could be 200 floors in a 6-story building. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
doing the TARDIS thing.
Yeah. So, but your initial scan would seem to suggest, just from what you got from the interior, is that you're not looking at anything too intimidating. It probably follows basic standard physics. There's probably four or five floors to this building.
But do we know what floor more of the humanoids are on?
You'd have to scan more. You'd have to.
Okay.
You'd have to throw
How many
them deep.
exits? One on each end?
You don't know.
Oh, but like standing in this hallway.
So you guys are basically in the detention area.
Yes.
So it's open. There's no door that closes off the detention area, which is either a Time Lord show of arrogance or what have you. But there it is. You do see this long metal hallway going straight down. The steel here is like the metals are all polished. Again, sort of like almost the Black Archive, where it has that sort of cold, polished look to it. It also has a bizarre amalgamy of Time Lord and Jadoon construction to it. So some of it looks really crude, like blocks and strength in the way that they're built. I almost picture, like in D&D, I would describe it as dwarven made. Here, it's all tech, so it's just like this place is fortified to withstand punishment. But it's also mixed in with the elegance and usage of Time Lord tech. So typical like wires and whatnot that would be exposed have been lined with all of these intricate sort of transparent tubes that go down the length of the hallway, where you can see these lights constantly beaming. And you will occasionally see like Gallifreyan script written into the wall that are actually giving commands.
Yeah, does
to,
it
like,
say
open and
headquarters
close
that
doors.
way?
Nothing like that, unfortunately. But you just see this long corridor that it looks like it branches off into 2 different directions towards the end.
Okay.
And a catwalk. It's almost like I say catwalk, but it's a metal grate. The floors are just like this solid metal grate that has underneath the metal grate. You're seeing just tech, like those sort of like flashing LED lights, sort of like effect. The whole building looks like it's a technological, like, mishmash.
Could I spend some story points to say that I intuit which of these directions, like,
Yes.
are typical? Okay.
Yes, you
right.
can. If I was a Time Lord and I was building a... Oh, wait, I am a Time Lord.
We
I
love
have
the
built
right-hand
okay.
column.
Sure. So go ahead and I'm going to say that's going to be 3 story points.
All right. I'm
And
down
I'm
to
going to
8.
say...
Oh, 'cause it's gonna have to
you won't really even have to roll for that if you're going to burn story points.
Yeah.
So, judging from what you know of both Jadun Tech and Time Lord Tech, you're able to sort of suss together which direction would probably be the most likely to go. Down the hall, to the left. It's always the left for some reason.
It's always the left for some reason. Let's go.
And off our merry band goes.
Yes.
And Davros, you just... That's sort of silent, and Davros begins to move with you.
I'm
You
going
could
to
all just
I,
keep an eye
I
on
keep
one
my
another.
distance from him. Yeah,
There he is,
we're in
the
marching
genocidal
order.
monster that created the most horrific race known to the universe.
I'm,
going to
I'm
walk in
still
front.
super, and I'm still looking at the doctor like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I'm nearby Davros to keep an eye.
I find that weirdly sympathy inspiring.
Okay. You make it down the hallway, you take a left, you do see another hallway. This, as you guys move through the hall, I'm guessing you're kind of doing the creeper thing. You guys are,
Floating creeper.
Scooby Doo.
yeah, totally. As you reach the end of the hallway, who's got point? Finn! All right, Finn. You've done crap like this
Yep.
for over a decade now. You know what you're doing. I'm guessing your gun's out, or
Yes.
do you have that? Okay, so that badass flintlock
Yes.
laser pistol with the scope that comes off the side in your hand. You're kind of up against the wall, kind of glance over. There are 2 beings down the hallway. They look like they're dressed in lab coat style, like sort of scientist tech, like get-ups. They're milling about, doing their own business. One is walking away towards the very far end of the hall, and one is actually walking towards you. They're wearing like like head to toe, sort of like from the neck collar down. They're wearing sort of I would describe it as almost like a protective jumpsuit. It's a solid one-piece jumpsuit that looks like it has ribbing on the side to sort of protect from explosions, as well as like a reinforced sort of like tube running through the front parts. They're Ovokali.
What?
Unmistakable. It's an Ovokali. It's one of the members of Sam's race.
Yeah.
And they're sitting there just like punching on a data pad. The expression on their face is one of just almost zombie-like. Like they're just sort of like staring at this and pressing on buttons and whatnot. There's a white coat that they're wearing over. It's very similar again to like the stereotypical scientist look.
Yeah.
And is walking directly towards you, like they were going perhaps either down the hall that you guys didn't go down, or maybe they're going to turn to the prison block. You're not sure, but they haven't noticed you.
Is this a thing that's common that Sam's race would
The
be?
Ovokali supposedly are extinct.
Okay.
Sam
That's what I thought.
Sam has been operating this whole time that Sam has been operating. Sam, I would say that for the past 11 years, you're certain you're the last of your kind.
They've
You've
been
not
erased from
seen,
reality.
yeah. And
But you
they
took
have
over
told
their
you,
planet, though.
Well, that was home reality.
yeah.
Not this one.
In my home like where we're
Yeah.
all from before we fell into this world, the Dalek Galactic Council sent the
thought you were
Jejun
from
to
this
subjugate.
world.
Are
We
you
aren't.
guys from this world?
No,
So-
because you met both of us before you bounced into this reality.
No.
No,
You guys
no,
met
actually-
as that was happening. So you guys met inside the belly of that reality-devouring monster, and then you were sucked into
It
space
is
and
both
rescued.
timey and wimey, y'all.
Yes. But so
But the Gallifreyans wiped the planet out.
yeah.
Oh.
The Ovokali were one of the many races that decided they didn't want to obey certain laws, and the Gallifreyans, instead of opening a dialogue to discuss that, supposedly annihilated them. So for the past 11 years, Roko has I mean, another reason why you two have formed such a tight bond, the same way the Doctor does with the companions, is Roko supposedly is the last of their race.
Yeah.
So, no, the Roko, when you all met that is worth pointing out though, the Roko that y'all met when you were in the belly of that beast did think that they had an entire planet of people. But ever since Sam has joined the game, Roko has always expressed that they were the last of their kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There are Ovocoli here.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. Your new Time Lord friend seems to be completely knowledgeable.
Do I sense them psychically?
No, not right now, unless you wanted to reach out.
Which is maybe
I mean,
not a good idea.
It's not a good idea, you guys, but
No. But
is it, how?
what? I don't know. But
I start creeping up and I'm
Okay.
bit careful. Wait.
Oh, are they? Oh, that makes sense.
pardon.
Sam, I
Yeah.
need you to make a
Yep.
coordination
Subterfuge.
roll, please.
Yep.
How close is the scientist?
Probably about 20 feet away.
Okay.
Moving towards y'all.
17.
What is it?
17.
Doesn't spot you, but maybe heard you because they look up. Just as I'm guessing you kind of.
I just take my hand, push their face back behind the wall.
They're not shapeshifted. Unmistakable. That is an Ovocali. That is a member of your race. And
Doing here?
there is slight difference. Kind of this sort of almost zombie-like look on their face. Even for the reptilian eyes, just kind of like somebody who's worked in a cubicle for the past 20 years, kind of thing. just walking.
Okay, I know this is a bit shocking. I know. Just hang with me. I have an idea.
Inferior race.
All right. So
Doesn't matter where they are.
this might be a good thing. Roko can walk around this facility without that being a bit of a alarm bell.
Right.
So
Giving you heads up because as you guys are having this dialogue, they did hear and they are
coming.
yes.
All right.
Yep.
And they
So
were only 20
everyone
feet away.
against the wall, just bear with me, all right? Tell me when they're here, and I'll tell you what I do.
Okay. So you all kind of stand there. Yes.
While we're all pressed against the wall, I'm gonna try to like snake his sword away because he doesn't look like he knows how to use it anyway.
All right.
No, that's my
gonna
sword.
That's going to be a coordination plus subterfuge roll.
Me?
No, for Jody.
But she's trying to take it from me.
You're gonna have to resist it.
Yeah,
Can I whisper
that's
something
what I'm
here?
saying.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me just do this roll. So for you, it's going to be an awareness. This is going to be an awareness plus resolve.
Oh,
Because it's so easy to hide a sword once you've got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
in the baggy pants.
there's something coming.
A harmless zombie Ovocali.
What'd you get?
12.
Ooh, 11.
Hey!
I want to spend a story point to bump
Okay,
that
that'll
up.
move you up.
1.
What if I
One.
did this?
And it would go to
Yeah,
defender.
this is
What if
how
I
we
did
did.
the
We played this
same?
game last week.
You can do it the same.
Yeah, I don't want you to have my sword.
Ah.
I don't trust you.
There's a
kinda
tugging
adds to
sensation
it.
on your belt, Cillian, while all this is happening, and you turned. So this is a little bit chaotic now because this is all starting to happen at once. So as y'all are paying attention, you feel a tugging sensation. You look down and you see this woman is got your sword halfway drawn. By the time you notice what she's doing, at that exact moment, this Ovocali rounds the
Okay.
corner and arrives.
But I do a thing.
What are you doing?
Okay, so I'll spend a story point to assume that this is not the first time I've had to just grab someone and maybe
You don't have to spend a story point for that. I can
Okay.
tell you that in your, I think in the 11 years you've been,
That I've done
running
this.
guerrilla warfare
Yeah.
against, yeah.
But
You can
specifically that I know a spot maybe on an Ovocali to make them go to sleep. Or just sort of
I don't know, you two. Y'all tell me.
Vulcan.
I would say That would probably be, I would say that might be an ingenuity medicine check.
But that's why I'm spending a story point.
Oh,
That
so you
maybe
just
that
so you
they
want to spend a
would've
story point to
told
know
me parts of the body that
Okay.
make people go to sleep.
In that case, yes, I'll let you know
Don't
that.
put your hand there.
And
Yeah.
Then in that case, it would be a straight
I
up.
accidentally grabbed you one time and you what's that? Oh god!
I broke them.
This is going to be a strength fighting check.
Okay.
It's going to be contested.
Okay.
If that overcalls anything like me, that is not going to be a
My
tough
goodness. I rolled double TARDISes, so.
Oh no! I
That
didn't know that
overcall
well.
is apparently not like me.
So what'd you get?
8, 9, 10, 11. 16.
So the Ovakali rounds the corner and eyes go wide and goes, and then you grab them and pull them right around the corner. And you see the Ovakali that was walking the opposite direction stop and look back just as you round the corner, missing them for a second. And now you're holding an Ovakali.
So they didn't go to sleep.
No, they did not go to sleep, but they are frozen. They stopped. And they're doing this. And then they kind of are looking, and then looks at you kind of a little afraid when when they spot you. Kind of like, and then kind of glances at all of you a little confused, and then spots you and looks at you like, what the hell is that? Kind of like this kind of recoil.
I felt the same thing. Right, you're all right. We're not going to hurt you. What's your name?
I mean,
I have a name prepared. Are you...
You would have to move your hand.
I know,
for that.
I was
I've just leapt forward under the assumption that you might.
So this name is very complicated, so feel free to use the shortened hand.
okay.
But they, as you remove...
Before I remove my hand, I just say, we're not going to hurt you as long as you don't scream. You're not going to hurt them.
The Ovakali just nods
I
slowly.
take my hand down.
No, I'm just kidding. And they say, Uvo Ruvoto.
Uvo Revoto.
Or
Uvo Revoto.
Uvo works. If you want to say Uvo, because Uvo Uruvo
Uvo Revoto.
Uvo Ruvoto.
Uvo Revoto.
I'm cool with it.
I like it.
Got it.
Uvo Revoto. I'm the doctor.
You don't see any recognition.
I'm used to that. One quick note. I have so many questions. Right. I think you may have a question for our friend Uvo Revoto. Roko?
They kind of glance over at this strange human-looking creature, and they just kind of look at you.
Oh, that's right. You're not in your form.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Will you twine branches with me?
You see this sort of cocks the head a little to the right, and that is not possible with humans.
It's not.
I don't understand. You see this lack of recognition, like it's not computing.
Can I scan Uvo to see if they've been psychically damaged or are being controlled or...
Yes.
Scan.
me.
but, I mean, I can't scan the base, but if I scan Uvo...
Well, look.
Sonar
It's
ping.
psychically, if there's something
Sonar
gonna
ping.
go off, it's about to go off anyway.
Are you scanning them?
I'm about to.
Are you psychic?
I rolled the dice, so I need to know if you're scanning them.
Yeah, that's.
Are you
right.
gonna scan them with this? Are you scanning them with the sonic?
Oh,
With the
I wasn't
sonic.
aware.
No, totally. I just.
Sorry, I think I've gotten lost, but
You were gonna scan them?
Yes.
Okay, so make your roll.
Sorry,
It's-
guys.
It's gonna be. Tell me what you get.
What is
it's-
that actually?
It's gonna be ingenuity medicine.
Great. 9, 10, 11, 12. Do I get the +2 tech adept?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh wait, no, here you wouldn't. This is a medicine roll, so you're not actually using.
I'm using my sonic, though.
Yeah, but you're not scanning technology.
Okay. 9, 10, 11, 12. +8 is 20.
20. Okay. No alarms apparently have been activated.
Cool.
You scan. Your immediate detection is that this creature has probably been mistreated most of its life. Your initial scan indicates that there's probably been bones broken and reset and broken and reset. You kind of get the impression that this Ovocali has probably come from some sort of hardship. And you also detect an implant in the back of the Ovocali's neck. Not entirely sure what it does, but judging from just because of your deductive reasoning as the doctor in that role, you're guessing it probably has something to do with whoever employs them.
All right. Uvo, do you work here by choice?
There is no choice.
So sorry.
How many are there of you here?
I cannot talk to you. If the temporal guard find out that I'm talking to intruders, everyone will be executed.
They're slaves of the Time Lords.
Uvo has an implant preventing them. Does Uvo have an apparent gender? I wouldn't
Nope.
know. I've never met an Ovocali.
we
Okay,
don't.
great. Cool.
Nothing of the Ovocali kind of hints at a gender.
Great.
Think about lizards, think about trees.
Yeah.
Lizards, trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. There's some kind of implant in the back of Uvo's mind.
Get it out now.
I'm not sure that's the safest play.
I don't. Doctor.
This is only the second one I've ever met. I'd rather not kill it.
And
Absolutely not.
we might be discovered. They're probably monitoring. If they have chips in the back of their head, they're probably being monitored.
I need
surely.
everyone, including you, Davros, to make a... This is going to be... Oh, man. Things are getting interesting. This is going to be an awareness...
Don't you worry.
I totally have chill.
It's going to be an awareness ingenuity roll. Let me know what you get. Difficulty is 15.
I got a 15.
You know.
Yep.
I got a 14.
Awareness and what?
Ingenuity and awareness.
I don't know.
20.
20.
15.
17.
Okay.
Wow.
17.
So for those of you, enough of you beat it that it doesn't even matter who didn't hear it, but that other Ovocali is coming. Because you only just succeeded getting
Yeah.
Uvo around that corner. So they're coming to investigate.
Are there any closets?
You can hear them.
That we could duck into right now?
Or
If
that
you got a
open
story point, there
cell,
might be.
maybe?
You can...
Davros can't really duck in any closet.
He's just pretend to be a Roomba.
Again, this is a perfect use of story points and spinning it for narrative. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna spot a door that leads to a side chamber.
Okay.
How many points does that cost?
I would probably say that's minor, so I'll give you that for 2 story points.
So I'm down to 6.
Burning through them.
Yo.
Thanks for that refill.
Yeah. Well, I knew you guys were going to need it.
This way, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Door opens as you guys all move into this room. Davros
Even
just
me?
kind of hovers in. It's not a closet. It looks
Okay.
like a storage space for all of these canisters. All these biological samples are in here. As it closes down behind you, it's very it's very cold in this room.
It's chill.
These massive containers that have it looks like they're kind of generically labeled biomatter. You have no idea what's inside, but they're basically big steel. Yeah, they're basically big steel-looking tubes that have been like sealed off, like barrels almost, and there's just rows of them, and you can see like the sort of that dry ice effect, that cool mist kind of blasting into the room to keep this place cool.
Do I know anything about that? I assume I wouldn't have gotten here.
It's not unusual for the Time Lords to sometimes... the Time Lords of this reality, it's not unusual. You don't know specifically what they're up to, but it's not that far-fetched to think that they probably harvest. Sometimes they harvest life forms that they've either executed or grown or whatever for whatever reasons. It's hard to say. You also know that from your time spent on Gallifrey that there has been a lot of attempts to manipulate the regenerative process for God knows what reason. But you're not entirely sure what this room would be used for.
Okay.
But you have seen collections of biological material being harvested, which is pretty grisly.
Yeah. They're jerks.
Yeah.
So we managed to
Actually,
smuggle our guests in.
if you want, Jody, I would say
I'm taking them. I didn't let go of them.
I would say, oh, it's so nasty, but I would say make an awareness ingenuity check real quick.
Oh no.
15.
Okay. Yeah, it's starting to come back to you. It's almost like you blocked it out. But as you see these metal canisters that are all, there's a few things you notice that you recognize when you see them. One is that most of them are probably empty, but there's a few that probably have your organs inside of them. Probably saved.
She just looks very uncomfortable and unhappy to be in here, and that's all.
Yeah.
And she's staring at the canisters very uncomfortably.
And in literally any other moment, I would be focusing on that and picking it up.
Yeah.
And just sort of like...
The effect couldn't be any more horrifying than walking into a room and finding your own severed head.
Yeah.
Staring back at you. Standing here, you just kind of... It takes you a minute, like, what would they be using? Oh my god.
Yeah, she probably saw them in the
Yeah.
book previously, so she's just kind of like arms around herself, like,
Yeah.
nope, these are staying inside right now.
Yeah. There's that.
What is on the Ovacoli? What is on what is the name?
Uvo?
Uvo.
Uvo.
What is on Uvo?
Did you have something? No. What's on them?
Yeah.
So they're
they have
they're holding a data pad,
Okay.
and just like I said, sort of like the lab
Do they have
coat,
like key cards or?
not that's visible.
Yeah.
But it's to get around, possibly yes. But you have a moment to speak. You've got that story point expenditure, so it is going to give you.
Yeah. Okay. What is the data thing?
The data pad that
Yeah.
they're holding.
What is that?
You don't know. Getting a good look at it, it just looks like a flat screen readout, like a really advanced iPad or something.
Has it
Yeah.
got a
Or
map
just kind
on
of a
it?
tablet. What's that?
Has it got a map on it?
You don't know. There's a way to find out, though.
Yeah.
You want to find out.
Yeah. Uvo, I know you can't talk to us, but I will need to see that just for a moment.
You take it. They don't fight you, and they just go, "If you're discovered here, we'll be executed.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
No one can defeat the temporal guard."
You haven't met me then.
Kind of cocks the head a little bit and says, "Are you from the Resistance?"
Yes.
At your service.
And Finn protects Ovacoli better than anyone.
Uvo kind of leans back for a second and says, and then you see the emotion. It cracks, like finally, like it's almost like their inner being has been buried underneath God knows how long trauma to sort of protect itself emotionally and mentally from everything they've been through, to sort of enter this like horrible state of just, this is the way my life is now.
I
Your
immediately hug
words,
them.
your words have the cruel stab
You
of
have
hope.
to get through.
I immediately hug them.
You wrap your arms around him. It's that horrible, like the pain that hope is causing as it injects itself into a place where there was none.
Yeah.
And Davros, you're not really capable of being nauseated.
Not really.
But it is moments like this where you wish you could just what it would be so amazing if you could just kill them both right now. Like that would be hilarious. As you watch these beings sort of but there's also sort of this like reaction where you see Finn wraps her arms around this Uvokali and Uvo just says, "You'll help us?"
Yes, I've seen what you've been through and it is all over. I was worried your implant would hurt you if we told you the truth, but we are here to end this.
The implant will kill me if they activate it.
How do we stop it?
Only the temporal guard have access to it through their database. But the others of my kind, they'll try to stop you. Many of them have been conditioned.
I'm just glad you're alive.
I don't know if I am. You see they just kind of like, their voice cracks a little bit as they say this. And it's almost like they don't know how to hug you back.
Yeah.
As you're wrapping your arms around them.
Did you have to teach Roko how to hug?
Yes.
Finn from
Now
the
I'm very cuddly,
Resistance,
but like,
by the way.
you know those cats.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
What?
Finn from the Resistance.
You're a big deal.
I made that connection.
I didn't even think of that actually.
I'm from the Resistance. I'm here to get you out of here. You need
I'm
a
a
ship.
pretty
I
big
need
deal.
a ship.
I let them go and I
Need a pilot.
hold them by the shoulders and I say,
Okay.
all right, I know you're in a lot of pain, but if you want to end this, we're gonna need your help, all right? Do you think you can do that?
If you can save the others, then I'll do anything I can.
Fantastic. I'm so glad we ran into you. Is there a map on this? We're looking for the central database.
Uvo just hands you the data pad.
Fantastic.
You open it up. Basically, it's a lot of data about Earth. And, like, probably it's all generic, like, sort of they've been accumulating and studying Earth. There's a couple of files in there. A lot of interesting... It looks like... If you were looking through someone's Google search, it looks like they've been Googling Davros a lot. They're probably trying to figure out where Davros is at. You also see a lot of information on Time Lord physiology, and you see a file labeled "The Prisoner."
Read it.
You see a man's face that you've never seen before come up. Lip has been split down the middle, blood all over his chin. Eye is kind of swollen closed. It says the prisoner on it, and it has Gallifreyan estimated age, regeneration number, and what you notice too is this picture of this man who looks like he's been thoroughly tortured is wearing the exact same clothes as your friend here. It looks like that whoever the prisoner is, it looks like they have probably been killed and regenerated. It looks like the Time Lords have made this an art. You've never... Imagine being able to torture a prisoner to death because you know they're going to come back, so you can do it again. And it looks like some of the prisoner's organs were harvested as they were dying, and when they regenerated, grew the organs back, and and the torture proceeded once more. You're just flipping through the horror that you're reading in this time. Like, you know, Gallifreyans have been responsible for some pretty arrogant acts, but this level of cruelty you've never seen from your race before. You've never seen this sort of from the Cybermen, maybe, but Gallifreyans,
All
like,
those years of being the last of my kind, sometimes I wish I were.
yeah. And just that simple, like, expression that Jodie's Time Lord has on her face of just sort of standing there and holding herself and watching this, it suddenly begins to belie that, it's pretty clear the immeasurable amount of character and strength, or possibly psychosis, that Jodie is displaying by having just sort of like the simple expression on her face.
I'm sort of looking between the containers and him because I know what he likes to do with organic matter, and I'm kind of like,
yeah,
just
yeah,
somewhat.
Imagine getting your hands
Yeah,
on
I
Time
know.
Lord DNA. Oh, the fun you could have.
My God, what they've done
Resisting
to you.
scanning it.
What? I look at Uvo. What they've done to you? We've got to stop them. Did I find that map?
Yeah, there's a map of the complex. This place is only 2 stories. 2 stories in a 6-story building. So yes, definitely technology at play here from the Time Lords. It looks like, from what you gauged, just reading the data output, this was an Ovakali. This base was Ovakali constructed. That's why it's Jadoon tech. And what you gather from it is it's been here for a long time, probably part of an expedition, because the Ovakali, for years, intrinsically, they're so curious about other species. Remember that episode of Star Trek where they were hidden in the rock face? It's the First Contact episode where they were studying other species, but they were kind of removed because they didn't want to interfere.
Mm-hmm.
This base probably looks like it was something along those lines, where they wanted to know as much as they could about humans, but they didn't want to interfere with them.
Your people made this. Wonderful. Thanks for
Insanely
knowledge.
curious race.
I saw the archetype. I didn't dare hope, but
A wonderful
thank you,
species.
Davros.
Has anyone
What?
ever said that before?
Until yesterday, I didn't really know what rage felt like. But I think it was perfect timing. We need more than the information, Doctor. We need to stop all of this. We
Absolutely.
should free my people.
Right. Well, all we need is to get to.
So command structure, the central database. Again, you don't know if it's Time Lord arrogance or what, but it looks like the TGs probably never anticipated someone actually breaking into this place. They seem to capture her, so they probably weren't anticipating anybody being crazy enough. It's like the apex predator of the savannah. Probably isn't expecting a bunch of lower food chain animals to come attack it in the middle of the day, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if the TGs are here, they're going to be your biggest problem, and it's 1 floor above you. It's going to take no time or difficulties at all getting there. The only thing that looks like it's going to be a problem is the other Ovakali, which are going to present an interesting moral, ethical question, because as Uvo has told you, they are probably going to try to stop you.
Does it say anything about how many TGs are in the facility?
No. But they might know. You're not going to get it from the data pad, but they would probably know.
Uvo, how many guards, how many TGs are in this facility?
They always move in 2s.
Only 2 at a time, or just many sets of 2?
Something about their vortex manipulators makes it impossible and dangerous for them to travel in larger groups than a pair.
Ah. Do you know where they are now?
The last I saw them, they were in the command base.
And how many
Upstairs.
Ovakali are here?
7.
Do you know any who would help us?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them.
Right.
We don't speak to each other.
I'm so sorry.
Again, sort of that lost, doesn't know how to reference the sympathy.
Do you have a spare lab coat?
Oh, what was that?
A spare lab coat.
Removes it, hands it to you.
I hand it to Roko. I think we need your true form for a minute.
And I dropped shapeshift.
Flinch looks at you. I've never seen you before. So now you recognize, obviously, they've got a slave in their group, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
That all.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
Jody, to give you some context, the Ovakali are how you got captured. They basically alerted the base when you got here. Your experience with them is that they are broken. They are a broken species, and probably, at least in your experience, probably can't be reasoned with.
Yeah, except maybe this one we've met somehow. That
Yeah, this one seems to know about the resistance too, which is a little unusual.
yeah.
Because Ovakali are just go from point A
And
to point B.
especially if
and do
they're from the
task.
resistance and they didn't even know the Ovakali were here or existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is, they didn't seem to figure out that she might have been just in a different form. Is that because they can't shapeshift?
No, Ovakali can shapeshift. It's part of their ability to acclimate.
Even the
Recognizing that might be a thing that
Yeah,
someone
that's-
using an Ovakali expression might
Well,
have done.
Yeah,
I
that's
will
where
say
I was
that
coming from.
I can tell you, Sam, that Ovakali can identify each other when they're shapeshifted.
Yeah, of
but
course.
they did not identify you.
How many Ovakali are there?
In the building, there are 7.
How many in the world?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of the others of my kind for at least a decade.
And it has been a difficult one, hasn't it?
They don't respond. There's no way to actualize what it's been like. So you see that Uvo just kind of glances away.
Well, how did you know about the resistance? Why are you the only one?
I was punished.
What did they do?
I was helping a long time ago.
Who were you helping?
What's that? Oh, what's that? Who were you helping?
Yes.
I was trying to help the Time Lords who were fighting the government of Gallifrey. They promised that the Ovakali would be liberated.
That's us. That's what we do. We resist.
I managed-
What did you help them do?
There was a lot of communication that needed to happen between Earth and Gallifrey, and I had access. Someone who I met helped me in strange, I can't remember their face now. Someone important. Someone who had one of those, and they point at your Sonic. They had one of those, and they used me to
leave a message.
leave a message.
Can you get it?
I know where it is. I don't think the TGs have found it yet.
They haven't. That's why I'm here.
What? A message from me?
Yes, the other you.
Fantastic.
The other you? And you see the Ovakali just kind of cocks the head.
Other realities thing, it happens.
And the doctor? So was the man you met?
I don't remember. Somebody who was kind to me and was going to help, and afterwards we had these installed, and they pointed the chip, the back of their neck.
You're not the first to suffer for helping me. I'm so sorry.
Is this where he died?
What was that?
Is this where he died?
Did he die?
Yes, but no one knows where or when or why. Well, we can guess why, but...
I didn't know he had died.
It's a bit complicated. I'm another version of him, and I have the same mission. But hopefully this time we'll succeed.
Wait, you regenerated?
Yes,
You are him?
I'm another him.
That doesn't seem to be computing. They're kind of...
Close enough.
If it wasn't...
Clipping.
If it wasn't so... if it wasn't so...
Actually, doesn't what the
Yeah.
robot just said it's like a clipping?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Yeah. Oh. Interesting.
Yes, Time Lords are very funny mammals. I've learned so much that I could tell you and I could show you. And
I know all about their physiology, unfortunately. They kind of glance at you.
Oh, where is this message?
It's somewhere in the computer database upstairs in the command center.
Can you get us there without running into any other Uvokali? Do you know where they are?
It's possible, but the others will likely try to alert the Time Lords, and when they do, they'll simply activate our switches.
Would it be
We've
common
got to stop them.
Would it be common for you to be transporting prisoners?
Wait, what was that?
Would it be common for you to be transporting prisoners?
It would be very uncommon.
only
Uvokali,
the one.
we don't have
Right.
any. We are servants.
Roko, do you think you could talk to them? If they see an Uvokali who's not a slave, do you think you could convince them that we could free them? Do you think you could talk them into helping us?
Davros, do I risk getting, every time I scan anything, can you tell me more about the countermeasures?
It will alert the entire building.
Oh, right. I can't see the implant, right?
You can.
Oh, it's in the background.
It's like a little metal square with a blinking light just underneath the base of their skull.
If I have to do it without the sonic, can I just stare at it and get creative? Or do I need really something I can... Is there anything in the data pad about how the implants work?
Nothing in the data. You probably wouldn't give that tech to their slave.
Here is how to free yourself.
But again, with clever use of story points, I'm always gonna offer that. Also, if you decide not to use story points here, I'll give you a story point if you want to go it alone.
I guess I'll...
Does the implant affect your psychic ability?
Pain of death if we use our psychic ability.
Can they detect it if we do?
The device will activate if I do.
Every minute we waste increases our chances of failure with this mission.
We do have the shapeshifter with us.
When you say go it alone, did you mean just don't bother?
Straight up surgery. Like if you wanted to try to remove this thing yourself and find out what it is, you can just try to make a roll. And I'll give you a story point. I'll give you 2 story points.
If you insist on doing this, I can help. If this will speed this along.
Okay, what's your medicine check, Davros?
8.
That's right, because Davros knows.
No.
Davros knows how to build and
It's in
destroy.
the database. Let's just go get that. Don't touch the Uvokali.
Yes, Davros.
Davros does not do nice things to Uvokali.
I know, the fact that he's just been sitting
doesn't
here
do nice
quietly
things.
this whole time that I've been in here. I'm so paranoid.
Yeah, but what you guys as players don't know is as we sit here, Jason stares at the camera the
I know.
whole time. So if you're watching at home, I don't envy
about the
you.
viewers.
I remember from the previous
The
weeks,
previous
yes.
episodes, Jason is staring at the camera the whole
Do you
time.
guys have any extra bottles of water over there?
Oh, is it what? Oh, yeah, I haven't opened mine.
Oh yeah.
Is it common for you to go into the room with a database?
Uvokali have access.
Do you believe they would recognize an Uvokali that hasn't been part of this facility?
If they noticed you didn't have the implant, they might realize that you're not from here.
Right, and there are only 7 of them, so we
But they
don't
don't-
all look alike, you know.
I know, but they may not notice, in a sense of.
They don't talk to each other. That much is true.
What does the implant look like?
It's like a small metal square just located at the base of the skull.
Just a small metal square.
Yeah.
Can
You
you
said
just
it's got a
shape
blinking
shift
light
that
on it,
figure
right?
onto your body?
No, but I can put a small piece of metal. It doesn't have to be an implant as long as it is literally a small piece of metal on the back of my neck. That's no matter. It might
Right.
look close enough.
So our
Ooh, I didn't think that would
options.
fool them.
And we need to figure it out fast.
Is there a
so we can save
tracker?
the Uvokali.
What was that?
Is there a tracker
On the implant?
on the implant?
I don't know.
All right. So our
Any attempt to
options.
scan it?
Yep.
But we don't want to do that. So our options are either we try to trick our way in and we get caught and get in a big firefight, or we alert them immediately, get in a big firefight, or we distract them and get in a big firefight. So it seems we just pick one of the doors and hope we don't die.
Isn't Finn the best?
We could always have Ovo?
Uvo.
Ovo.
Uvo.
We could always have Ovo alert that they have found intruders somewhere we aren't. And then we just storm with whatever TGs are left in the database.
They might
There's only
punish
2 of
Uvo.
them, aren't there?
That does condemn Uvo to certain death.
Not if we succeed. And either way, we're all dead.
Uvo just kind of. That does make a certain logical sense.
And you think there are only 2 here right now?
There are always only 2.
We've
of
taken on
us.
2 before. We've taken on more than 2 before. What's stopping us this time?
They could kill every Ovakali here.
They don't know we have any connection to the Ovakali here. Why would they kill them? Because we're here.
Clearly, these are monstrous.
I have a question.
Yes.
Uvo, if you were to find an empty cell and call for help, that would be on the other floor from where we're trying to go.
There we go.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
money.
That's it, Doctor.
Would they have any reason to suspect that you shouldn't have been there? Would it
No.
get you in any trouble?
No.
Are you willing to do it?
Yes.
Bloody brilliant. We're going to get that thing out of there and we're going to free all of you. All of you. All right. We'll make our way upstairs to the database. Trying to
she
avoid the
almost-
other.
Care about any of this.
She
I just
almost
care
gives
about the
a comforting
technology.
gesture, but
And
then
he
she
wanted
remembers
to
being cut up and she doesn't.
Ovakali.
Okay.
Get their DNA. Ah, poor Davros.
No plan.
He
I
doesn't
know,
get
we
to
all know you have a
subjugate
plan.
species.
Don't worry, he's got a plan.
Cillian is mocking one of the deadliest creatures in the universe. You're like, yep.
You know, I filled his head full of trees. So
Okay.
So we're going to follow the route that Uvo suggested that was sort of the least likely to encounter other Ovakali on our way upstairs, while Uvo heads for the empty cell.
Logistically, because of the simplicity of this layout, it's
Yeah.
just going to be a mad dash.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't
We
seem
gotta
like you're going to be able to go undetected.
Is there
If
a
you go-
set schedule of when you patrol and when your duties are?
No.
Damn it.
Doctor, you saw what they did to me?
I'm so sorry.
Can I have a weapon?
I'm sorry. We will do our best not to let that happen again.
And then gravity.
If we run into the TGs,
there are enough weapons in this party.
What would be...
I wish I knew a version of you, I think. You seem a bit different.
We weren't friends.
I don't... Can I just confirm my memory? Like,
How?
Oh, from the thing
Is
I
there
said
any-
earlier?
what?
From the thing I said earlier?
Yeah,
I'll jack up the difficulty
is
if you want to try
there...
again. Because remembering harder is not going to necessarily make it
Yeah,
work this time.
does the master have a name that they went by when quite young that I could throw out right now? Was there ever a time...
Yeah, the master had a name before they became the master.
What was that name?
Have they
We
ever
would-
said that in canon?
I don't know.
much
I
they
don't know
like
that they
being
have.
called
Ralph.
Yeah.
It was Ralph.
Joe Bob, I thought about. Shymish, my name's Shymish.
Because I'm starting to have a weird hope that maybe in this reality the master didn't become the master, and that's probably dumb, but...
There's just nothing. It's all just what you, Amy, the player, knows is what the doctor knows at this point.
Okay. In our world, I don't. If you are who I think you are, we are not friends. I'd like to think we could be, but
That's terrible. Your world's terrible.
this one seems to have its own issues as well.
Yours is not a McDonald's Happy Meal either.
We promise to defend you. I'm so sorry about what they did to you. But we don't have a weapon for you.
I'm not. We are running out of time.
I hate to say it, but the trash can's right.
Only half the trash.
Uvo, are you ready?
Yes. It was nice meeting you again.
So proud to have met you.
Uvo turns and activates the panel. It opens up, and they walk out and do a hard right back towards the cells. And you are now on the clock.
Shall we?
Okay. I grab Rocco.
That was like,
So,
Yeah, this is not
let's
the
go
last
ahead and
time you will
set the
see
scene
them.
here.
If I have anything to say about it.
You all essentially are going to make a mad dash for the command center, right?
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's getting down that hallway and then getting up to the command center area. The only thing standing between you all, supposedly, are just the Ovakali, who clearly are scientific and passive, probably unarmed, but will alert the base and try to stop you.
Yeah.
But there's only 2 TGs and they're.
There's only 2 TGs and you're not sure where they are, but logic would suggest they're right where you're going.
Right, but that's the whole point of our distraction.
Right.
That they go towards the cells.
Yeah.
So
the real
We might
risk
want
is
to
that
wait
the
until we hear that
Ovokali
alarm?
get
Yeah.
killed.
Essentially, you're going to sow confusion. The alarm will go off, and it's likely what will happen is they'll show up to the jail cell, supposedly, realize that their alarm is going off. I'm sure the Ovakali will alert them. So you won't have long in the command center before they come back.
right,
Yep.
that's the moment we want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So you're going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We have to now.
Yep.
So as Uvo takes that right and goes down that hallway, and you all look at each other for a moment and realize it's go time. And you hear the whirring noise of Davros's lower body activating as he once again just kind of Professor X is like up off the ground, in this tech chair. And you guys, everyone files out as quickly as they can, and I'm guessing y'all make a run to the end of the hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, running,
I make a
mad
float.
dashing. What's that?
I make a float.
Okay. Yeah, no, Davros is keeping up. Y'all fly past some Ovakali who stop and stare in shock as you all rush past them, racing against the clock, your feet hitting the floor heavily as y'all are thundering through. Finn, your eyes are just darting left
Yeah.
and right, looking for any one of these mother fuckers to just like appear.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is having fought the TG so many times, you know they're notorious for just popping in and trying to get the drop on you.
Yeah, I already have gone out.
Not today.
And I'm doing the same because I know pretty much this. I know how they-
Unarmed,
yeah.
unarmed, and rushing into the arms of your torturers. I imagine you probably are borderline feral, like wanting to like rip them apart and well as not get captured again. So this is a terrifying moment, I would imagine. You're completely defenseless except for these strangers you're not sure you trust. Yeah, as soon as you're dashing, you feel naked as you're running down this hallway. And the Ovakali don't make an immediate move to stop you because the initial shock and confusion seems to stun them in their path. Y'all reach the end of the hall and bank right sharp, and you see, of course, this massive like tech staircase going straight up. You all bolt up the staircase. This is such a crazy like go go go. Reaching the top of the staircase, it's like I said, the layout is simple because, again, arrogance, you're not sure what. It's an easy layout. It's impossible to miss it. To your left, you see a short hallway that opens up into a command center. It's easy to spot as the command center because of all of the very obvious Gallifreyan Time Lord technology that is built into the wall systems here, and this massive display that shows various parts of Earth, like being monitored and whatnot. Clearly, they have access to every satellite. They have access to all of the. There's. You see, just glancing at it as y'all are rushing into the room, you see they have unit on total surveillance. Almost every angle of the unit area is under surveillance, but nothing inside. They have their secrets,
Including the Black Archive?
yes, including
Yeah.
the Black Archive, which is notorious because they have the tech that can actually keep TARDISes and whatnot out. That will include temporal manipulators, vortex manipulators. So, as you all rush in, the first thing you notice, aside from that database, is there's 2 Ovakali who stop and stare in shock, and that's it. No one else is in this room right now. It's completely empty. You see the console in front of you, and the alarm has just started to blare.
I'm going right for that console.
Oh, you
I'm
all
going
rush.
right for that console.
I'm picturing everyone
Oh my
rushing for
gosh.
like the touchdown as both the doctor, the prisoner, and Davros, creator of the Daleks, mad dash for the console. One of the Ovakali throws themselves aside and starts screaming in Ovakali. You recognize your home language, which you haven't heard in ages.
I tried to teach Finn, it did not take.
It's essentially
It's a hard thing
yeah,
to do.
it's kind of like in that same vein of like Wookiee and like Shriwook, like only really the Ovakali can speak it. So as you throw yourself, as this Ovakali throws themselves back, you understand that they're essentially shouting for alarm, calling the TGs. It's pure like reactionary. They're doing it because they've just been trained to do it. I need actually. You don't have quick reflexes, I'm guessing.
Yep.
No.
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 Are we on the 5 minutes? Oh, we got to wrap it up.
My athletics is just a dash. Like I don't even have a number, it's just athletics. Dash.
So we're gonna do this. There's no combat here. What we're gonna happen though, because prisoner, you have quick reflexes. You are gonna reach that console just first, but I need the 2 of you are gonna have to make a roll off to get to that console.
Pretty sure I run faster than Dalek.
You
How
know,
sure?
Float.
How
I
sure
would
are
not be
So what are we doing?
surprised.
So this is going to be. So
granted,
doctor,
Davros is
doctor, this is
different.
going to be a coordination athletics. Davros, this is going to be a coordination plus technology.
I'm not fleeing, am I?
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, but you know what? I'm going to let it apply because Davros cannot reach that machine before you.
Yeah.
Then why am I
sort of running
rolling?
for my life.
What's
Oh,
that?
oh, okay. Then why am I rolling?
Because emotionally you
Okay.
cannot, yes.
Right.
So I'll give you the bonus.
It gives +1 speed, but I don't know how to apply that.
So you're just going to add +1 to whatever your final roll is.
All right.
And Davros, your tech kicks in, so I'm going to give you a +4 to your roll.
Great.
Your certainty that you can reach that console before Davros melts away as you see Davros's, you see the lower half of his body. You hear this, and you see this repulsor come out the back as he launches forward.
Turbocharged.
I'm going to spend a story point for extra dice.
Okay, Davros.
I will spend. I'll spend 2.
Can we
Two
do
story-
that?
Yeah.
Huh? Well, only
plus
one
the
story
2
point will
dice.
give you extra dice.
Oh, okay.
And
Then
this
I'll
is going
just
to be
spend 1 then.
okay. So you both are getting the extra dice.
Great.
And I'm rolling athletics coordination.
You're rolling coordination plus athletics, yes. And this is a contested roll.
And 1 more die. 20.
20.
7, 9. I got a 10.
Get thwarted.
19 plus 11 is 30.
The
I want
doctor
this
gets to
very
that
badly.
console almost at the same time that you do. You both manage to touch down. Davros,
That was a really good roll. I got 2
here's the
TARDISes
situation.
Yeah.
Here's the situation. All bets are now off. The one thing you were here to do is now going to be taken from you. Your options are this. Kill everyone in the room and get what you want, or go back to the Black Archive and sit there until you die.
Oh no.
That's essentially what you're left with. because both the prisoner and the doctor have made it to
Okay.
the console before you.
I've been sitting here for a while, and now I haven't. I've been musing on a thought.
There's also a logistical problem that you have become aware of that no one else has seemed to become aware of. There are 5 temporal manipulators, and there are now 6 of you.
But don't I still have mine?
The one that you, yes,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
has 1 jump left, and they've rescued a prisoner. So, I'm feeding you
Yeah.
this
Uh-huh.
as Davros's mind.
Right.
Who do you think they're going to choose to leave behind?
Of course. So,
In an archive full of Time Lord tech, actually, I'm not certain of that.
You also said that we could have brought unit people with us, which means I was assuming that we could bring extra people on
Well,
the
a
job.
unit in place of your party. Do you know what I mean?
right.
Oh, well, I'm glad we
Like,
didn't
because
go for that.
Sarah Jane was thinking, I'll send you guys in with trained guards.
Couldn't
Question.
Davros?
Yeah.
Couldn't Davros's? Could I at least roll or attempt? Couldn't his advanced scanning technology actually, just from being in the room, get the information that he wants just from scanning?
Not from scanning. You would have to interface with this console because it's Time Lord tech. It's 1 tech level above Dalek.
Okay.
So you're going to have to connect. You're going to have to link with it.
Okay.
Why were we able to then grab Rose and teleport them away by touching them? Why doesn't
Because we
that
didn't
apply?
have the stealth thing up. They've been modded.
Yeah.
That's
That,
the only
your
reason.
your vortex manipulators when you were doing that
Yeah.
was when they were working at full efficiency. To get
Now
in
they're
here,
kind of
you guys
broken.
had to strip them down into stealth units so you get 2 jumps,
Okay.
and they're not gonna get you.
Then
now,
I'm okay.
Now,
then I have
now
to do
technically you
something.
could kill these TGs and get them.
I was yeah.
You can
I'm
do
already.
that.
I'm doing something.
But that's again, that's those are your options. I'm just laying the landscape because
I'm
The
doing
other
a thing.
is
Yeah,
we
do a
have
thing,
like
Ben.
3 minutes.
This is your time.
that's
doing
the
a thing.
problem. As this conundrum enters into the field,
have to stop.
we have to pause the
Lord, I have a thing.
what? We got 2 minutes left. What do you want to do?
Oh, I'm gonna run to Davros and I'm gonna turn his thing on and send him back. Gonna take him out of this room. Brilliant. He's going back.
Okay. You're gonna make
I
a
will
mad
spend
rush.
as many story points as you want, but I'm sending him back.
Oh my love.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Oh my love.
I'll give you 2 story points if you let that happen, or if you want to resist it and try to kill her before she gets to you. It's up to you. What do you think Davros would do?
Well, I think that physically I can't be here next week, so I'll probably let her do that.
Here's a quick rationalization too. You're also completely focused and now realizing, I mean, the doctor's basically in front of you. So if you're going to, so let's do this.
You're not paying attention to some worthless human.
Right.
Okay, so this is what happens. We're going to do a doers. You've got that thing on your arm. So
Yeah.
Gina,
Yeah.
Finn needs to make a quick coordination fighting check.
Is this with story points?
Or no, make this a strength fighting.
Oh yeah.
Strength fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
Melee.
No, your story points is what's letting you do this, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Night Captain.
20.
Okay. This is how it resolves. You guys hit the panels first. You hear the inhuman snarl of Davros as he's and you see that front of his device, the tank, essentially his lower half goes, and you see a Dalek death ray just eject out from the front of it. Doctor's in your sights. You could kill everyone in this room, and Finn, you run forward and basically leap towards. You see Finn come out of your point of vision and smack down on the side of that temporal manipulator, the vortex manipulator. And just as you see that green, horrific death glow of that thing activate, you see Davros disappear. And Finn, as you have just now saved the life of the doctor and the prisoner, there's a moment where you're like, and then you hear, there! And everyone sees the TGs at the back of the stairs.
How many?
There
Just
are
the
2.
2. Woo!
And that is where we will leave off.
Yes! This whole time I've been like, I just want to hit his thing. Do we need him from? I was not sure if we needed him for the computer part, so I was like, is this a no? I'm just doing it.
Yes,
Yeah.
brilliant.
That was very good. Very good.
Brilliant.
And Jody,
Seriously.
we'll see you
Why
next
Rocco loves
week.
you.
We'll see you
Yes.
next Friday.
Yay! I will
my
work
dear.
on doing an accent by next
Yeah.
week because I'm not good at that, and I know it kept slipping away.
No, it's
It's
okay.
okay.
It's
We're
okay.
all-
She got
terrible
tortured so much she doesn't know how to talk anymore.
Duncan has given us
Duncan's
a
the
pass.
worst of all.
Duncan is the
Totally
gatekeeper. He's given us a
unrealistic.
pass.
That's totally
Duncan's
fake
given up.
accent.
Well, I don't even have to try, so it's not fair.
You should have had an American accent. to
Yeah,
even on
no,
the
I
playing
should
field.
not. I should not have had that. You're never gonna hear that. By the
So,
way.
real quick, as we close up, thank you so much, Jason Charles Miller,
Thank you. Thank you.
who played Davros with the conviction of nobody I could think of playing Davros. There's going to be, looking back at the VODs, I'm going to just watch Jason staring at the screen for ages. So thank you so much for coming in. We'll probably see you again, maybe as another
never
character,
dies.
maybe as Davros. Who knows? Yeah, Davros. Who knows what happens
Just left
next.
him loose on the streets of London. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
Yeah,
all
we'll
right.
have to tie that thread.
Davros appears in a bar. What do you want?
Just firing
Back in
wildly.
Winchester.
So we will see Jody. We'll be back next week. And as we close out, thank you so much for sticking in there. I know we started late because of our power surges, because of the weather here in LA. And don't forget to stick around. Sam and I are about to do a Q&A on the Geek and Sundry Instagram. So y'all will be able to ask us questions. Stay tuned for that. We'll be doing that for a few minutes. And thank you again so much for tuning in, you guys. And we'll see you next Friday.
Awesome.
Bye.